Hello. It is me, Laura Jadid, and I'm joined deep underground in the 45th Parallel Absurdist headquarters by two members of the 45th Parallel Absurdists. Hello.
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 We will be drinking heavily and reading Andy Ngo's terrible book, specifically about the CHAZ. We did the first part last Thursday, and we're going to do the second part today. And we're going to need some alcohol for this, so we are going to be drinking once again larceny whiskey, since Andy Ngo is a goddamn thief.
But not in the fun way.
Yeah, not in like a good way. Yeah, not in like a cool way, in like the uncoolest way.
Cheers.
Whee!
Cheers. To Andy Ngo and how bad he is at everything.
Aww. He is a significantly worse thief than all of the people who were just taking edible food out of dumpsters earlier today and then getting yelled at by cops.
That's the best kind of thief.
It's the best kind of thief.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't be able to pull that off because he sucks at everything.
Yeah, here at this channel, we support doing that, not stealing content and then
Feeding people?
Yeah, we're big on feeding people.
Feed
Yeah,
people instead of lie to do fascist entryism.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Shoot, I just realized I can't see the chat from here, which is
Oh,
bad.
we can
So
bring it
yeah,
in.
we're gonna bring it in. We're bringing it in a little bit. This is improvised. I do feel like everyone should be aware that the computer is currently propped up against a box of 5.56 ammunition,
Green tip.
green tip, which is good. How's that? Is that good? Everyone can.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I can
That's
kind of see the
decent.
chat.
And I can
Cool.
spill alcohol on myself.
Perfect.
Saying.
Excellent. A good.
Laura doesn't smell that.
I'm sitting in the most
Okay.
comfortable
Yeah.
groove.
And I'm sorry that I'm leaning so far forward so that
I'm
I can
gonna
do this.
slide
So
out. There we go.
all right. So without any further ado, let's learn about the CHAZ. Y'all were at the CHAZ.
I went up with Robert and on like the second day after they chased the cops out,
Awesome.
and it was a big old party and it was really lovely. And then like a little bit of dumb stuff was happening by that evening, like the following evening. But yeah, I'm excited to see the bizarre parallel world where a lesser known SoundCloud rapper from Seattle declared an autonomous warlord caliphate in the middle of Seattle, because I think that was the story that was going on.
Yeah. No, we've already talked a little bit about the warlord. I hope we'll talk
he
more.
wasn't there ever. Like I was there
No.
for 2 days. He was never there.
That's awesome. I refuse to believe it. The computer's chirping. I don't know what that's about. So we'll hopefully learn more about him because he sounds really interesting. Here we go. In the early hours of June 14th, 2020, a hip-hop dance party in the middle of CHAZ was disrupted when someone announced that a fellow resident was being held at gunpoint. The man rallied the crowd, and within seconds, everyone ran after him after several... Wait, is this right?
Is that a sentence?
I apologize. I have started a page too late. We're going to have to wait to hear about that incredible sentence.
Wow.
I'm very professional, everybody.
I'm trying to think if I was there on the 14th.
It's very
Comments
upset.
Or what?
It seems like something being like plugged in. I apologize. Technical difficulties. It's like something's being plugged in and then unplugged.
Or do you have something else in the background?
It could also be
Dave,
me.
Do you have something else in the background? That
Oh,
is-
it's me.
Oh, it's you.
It's me.
Aha!
Okay.
You good?
As usual, It's my fault. We're good now. Let's read the real chapter. Okay. Those unfortunate enough to have homes within CHAZ had no say over their new overlords. Residents discreetly voiced their concerns to local media. Some moved out temporarily. There were reports of gunshots and screams of
Citation?
terror.
So
Can I have a little card that's just
We need a citation.
citation needed? Okay, I'm
Also,
gonna
I'm
I'm gonna
just-
make that one.
You
Make
did
that,
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Also, just a note here, when we went to the CHAZ, we were specifically hanging out with someone who lived a half block away. It was lovely. And who was like involved with the stuff that was going on in the CHAZ. And like it was basically community meetings. Like it was kind of like if a neighborhood, like the non-shitty version of a neighborhood association hosted a party that was an entire neighborhood for a couple of days.
That sounds amazing.
Like, yeah, people who lived in the area were, some of the rich people in condos weren't into it, but like people who lived in the area were there and were present. They had a specific residence caucus at all of the like big community meetings that they were having,
Yeah.
So no, people who lived there were actively invited into the decision-making process of what was going on in the CHAZ. So
Wow. Well, that's not what
Anyway.
Andy saw when he went in disguise despite his better judgment. So, we're just going
I
to have
wonder
to...
when that was, because
Yeah,
there
no.
was another right-wing grifter who was yelled at and kicked out when he was trying to live stream shit in the CHAZ. He was a dude who he killed a mentally disabled guy.
Oh, that sounds like a winner.
As a minor, and then tried to reinvent himself as a anti-abortion right-wing
Oh,
dude.
perfect. Well, it's good that he's pro-life. That's what really matters. is that he's-
Killing someone as a teenager
Yeah.
will maybe do that.
I suppose.
Yeah. Anyway, I didn't see Andy there. But.
Yeah, well, it's because he was in such good disguise, I imagine, or because he wasn't there. Who's to say? This, by the way, is Eris. This is another member of the 45th. I
She
believe.
will never inherit any money. Not that kind of Eris, Greek goddess of chaos and discord. She will be introducing chaos and discord into our live stream.
Doing it immediately and right now. Very good job. So we do actually have a source on the Screams of Terror at night. So let's find out.
Terror at night?
Yeah, we got a source here. It is he doesn't link, by the way, to any citations. He just says what they are, so you have to go on a little adventure hunt. It's something by Shelby Talcott that says, "Exclusive. I've been scared every day. Seattle resident speaks out about life on the border of CHAZ."
Published where?
Yeah, it doesn't say.
Oh,
which
that's
is fine.
not a citation.
No, that's not a citation.
You
Not
just
really.
have an article.
Yeah.
And you don't have a link to it or anything.
Yeah.
That's
Let's look this
not
up.
what the MLA handbook recommends.
No, that is not MLA. That is not. That's none of it. That's not the APA citations. That is just some random. All right, let's see if we can find where this was. I bet it's the New York Post.
No,
Oh,
it's the Daily Caller.
Daily Caller.
He didn't say it because he was embarrassed.
I would
And
also
Shapiro,
be
you should
embarrassed.
know Andy Ngo was embarrassed to link to your publication. Andy Ngo, noted
Ngo.
journalistic bastion of integrity. Andy Ngo felt like the Daily Caller didn't bear a name drop.
Did not. Amazing. I mean, he's correct. That is
Sorry,
embarrassing. Yeah. Now that we've cool. One day I was there. On one day I was there. A resident inside an apartment building came out twice to ask protesters to leave the alleyway where the apartment entrance is. Seems like a bad sentence. They brushed him off. The alley had been severely vandalized with graffiti and extremist messages.
So again, there's the CHAZ is a pretty small area.
Mm-hmm.
There was an alleyway that was the one alongside the police precinct, which had been very extensively graffitied, murals solid all the way in.
Yeah.
The only other alley I can think of was the one adjacent to the condo that in the lower level had a restaurant that was serving bar food and booze for takeout. The entire time that I was there, across the street from the Korean place, which had really excellent soju and really excellent Korean food, which was also, they were only open during business hours.
Sure.
They closed down when it got dark, and we actually pointed out to them that they would make a lot more money if they stayed open after dark.
Yeah.
But there's really only those two alleys that I can think of in the entire area that was the CHAZ.
That's interesting.
And the only one that was extensively vandalized was not adjacent to a residence of any kind. It was in between an industrial, a commercial building and the police precinct, and most of the vandalism was on the wall of the police precinct. I think there was a little alley shop or something that was way down on the commercial building side, but there's not that many alleys in the CHAZ. The whole thing is I don't know, that whole Cap Hill neighborhood was maybe 2 or 3 times the size of the plaza blocks in downtown Portland. It's not a
small.
huge area. Anyway,
you heard it here first. The 45th accusing Andy Ngo of lying. He's never been accused of lying before, and I am personally shocked. Astounding. Well, let's continue learning about what else Andy Ngo saw during his extensive time in CHAZ. It also houses. We've got it. Yes. It also houses a back entrance to the police east precinct. Bingo.
So yeah, that's not a residential building, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there might be an apartment in there somewhere, but it really appeared to be an industrial building with a bunch of commercial, whatever.
Yeah,
Doesn't really matter.
But you know, this is an alley. It's a police precinct, and they vandalized it. And I don't care. So yeah, let's see here. At night, volunteers guarded the alley after Antifa expressed a desire to break inside the precinct to burn it down. According to the police chief, there were credible threats to burn down the building.
Well, wait, so were the volunteers guarding it from Antifa, or were they guarding it for Antifa? Or does he just leave it deliberately vague so that his readers...
Okay, I'm just going to put it out there because he's presumably going to start talking about the SoundCloud rapper pretty soon.
I hope.
So the funny thing is when he does start talking about the SoundCloud rapper, it's worth knowing that the only thing that I heard, what's-his-face, SoundCloud warlord of the CHAZ,
yes.
Sorry, don't remember his name. The only thing that I actually heard anyone say that he did was show up and specifically in that alleyway adjacent to the precinct threaten someone with a gun for vandalizing the building.
That's a terrifying warlord.
So if what they're about to do is, if this is where we're about to go, it's going to be very funny if we're supposed to be scared of the SoundCloud rapper, but we're supposed to like the security who was preventing people from vandalizing the building. Because
same fucking guy. Oh, that's incredible. I love this. I love this for us. I'm gonna pull up the comments on here.
Oh, that's gonna make it easier.
Yeah, because then we can highlight some comments because y'all are making some good ones. And you should feel free to do that also. Start. Oh Lord, that's fine. We're not part of the stream. That's fine. This is what I wanted.
Card that I can now do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be really important. I feel. Oh my God. I am so good at technology. In no way, I just like to reiterate that in no way am I a boomer who drinks too much adrenochrome.
You're not a boomer.
I'm not a boomer. I'm not. No, I would never.
Zennials.
I
I prefer Oregon Trail generation.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Ooh, I also want to
I grew up with a typewriter generation.
Excellent. Oh God.
Okay.
I feel like I might be able to work a typewriter. We'll see. All right. So.
Oh man, I had an IBM one. It was so sweet.
I do just want to put out there, Laura and the 45th Parallel Absurdists sounds very in line with like the pirates in an adventure with scientists.
Oh, I remember with, like Josie and the Pussycats.
Ooh, I like that.
For Special Destiny.
Or
that's totally my band.
Possibly a band. Yeah, no, I would. Obviously, I would.
I don't play any instruments.
Oh, I don't either. I don't think it matters.
I play the kazoo.
It could be a punk rock band.
It'll be awesome. We'll just scream. It'll be cool.
All right, you have your citation needed.
I do.
Yeah, okay, good, because we're probably going to need. There are a couple citations coming up, but
Yes.
All right. Business owners, however, did not have the luxury of leaving on a whim. Every business and property inside CHAZ was vandalized with graffiti.
Not true. The folks who sold us soju were really super friendly, and the building that housed a community theater and the soju place
but they were
had opened up.
Graffiti.
Did
they have graffiti?
They didn't have any graffiti.
When you were there. What about during the whole duration?
Ooh.
He's good at devil's advocate.
Graffiti killed my mom, so I'm very emotional about this.
There was lots of graffiti on the outsides of brick buildings.
Horrible.
Exactly.
Horrible.
They were defaced. They were violent.
The soju place was not vandalized, and the community theater and that shared a bathroom with the soju place, they had all made sure the bathroom was open and accessible so that people could go in and use the bathroom.
That's really nice.
They have graffiti on the outside.
It's probably
they didn't have graffiti on the outside of the building. The soju place didn't get vandalized because the soju place ruled. It was great.
I mean, probably they were just terrified of the Antifas, would be my guess.
Wow.
The evil Antifas buying their stuff.
They did vandalize a lot of barricades
the
that said they didn't like cops, that they pointed at where the cops might come from.
Horrible.
I'm always surprised why, Antifas apparently took over an entire thing for Black Lives.
Yeah.
Very confusing.
Yeah. Well, we actually learned last week that there's Antifa and then there's Black Lives Matter /Antifa, and they're different.
Oh.
It's very confusing.
So the teenage black kid who was talking to me and saying, "We fought for every foot of this street and we're never giving it up no matter what." They laid down a hard line, and we had to fight them back, starting from this point right here, where I like. So which one would he fall into? Do you suppose?
Yeah, I'm not. That's maybe we can get Andy on the stream and he can tell us because I'm baffled.
Let's not, Andy. If you're listening,
you're not actually invited. Yeah, go stay in the UK. It's safe for you there. It's a good, safe place. Your native land.
Plus, if you come here, then you'll be subject to UK libel laws, and that would be rough for you.
Rough for you, yeah. Okay, so yeah, most messages said some variation of ACABs, Black Lives Matter, or George Floyd, but other messages called for murder of police. These were the least of their problems, however, which is hard to believe because those are some pretty bad problems.
So I assume he means like kill cops.
I would assume that would be I mean,
okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I saw some kill cops graffiti.
I believe that. I mean, I've seen that, more than everywhere. It's something you say sometimes. Wed Teeler is correct. It is all violence against property. We are graced with Wed Teeler, who's definitely not Ted Wheeler. He comments, and we appreciate.
I don't think Ted Wheeler knows how to use things.
No, he's worse at technology than I am, which is saying a lot.
He's older than Laura.
God. And that's horrifying as well. Let's not even think about that level of decrepitude. All right, so let's learn about the worst problems, worse than graffiti. Faisal Khan, the owner of Cafe Argento, told the New York Times, quote, "They barricaded us all in here," unquote. There is a citation. It will be to that quote.
I did not use my sign.
You don't have to use the sign for this one. There is a citation.
I can say I never bought alcohol from Cafe Argento. They may have been closed while CHAZ was happening.
Yeah. I mean, we don't. That could be true. And I believe that he said that. I believe that that was the thing that was said. Yeah.
Wait, if that's the one on the corner, if that's the one on the corner, that would be very funny because we totally did buy coffee at a coffee shop around the corner, just on the other side of the barricades. And so if that, I might have to pull up a map and see whether that's Cafe Argento, because that would be very funny.
Well, part of it might be because he didn't dare speak out to media until weeks after CHAZ's demise. They were sitting in lawn chairs with guns, quote unquote. His testimony to the paper comports with what I witnessed myself. I don't think that's a proper use of the word comport. I believe that refers to
comportment is that's like conduct.
Right. It doesn't. Yeah. It doesn't. That doesn't make any sense. Andy, you're bad. You're bad. Though there were thousands in CHAZ during the day, actual business was incredibly slow. Customer traffic was severely impacted from the street blockades. People could only travel in and out by foot.
Yes. I can personally attest to dozens and dozens of dollars spent on alcohol over the course of a single afternoon. And we were not alone.
And also, how big was this? Was this something that was traversable on foot, the CHAZ? Was it miles and miles?
No. Out of curiosity.
No, it is. It was 3 blocks.
Revitalized their downtowns by closing them off to vehicular traffic and opening them only for pedestrian use.
I'm also just going to put out
I'm just out of curiosity, is that a thing that is routinely done in order to revitalize areas and make them more walkable and increase the business?
Pretty sure.
It is bad. Also during a pandemic.
Pretty sure it was also during a pandemic.
It was during a period where they had opened bars so you could sit outside and drink at bars. That was allowed.
That's
in Washington. I remember getting across the border into Washington and in Seattle seeing people drink at bars and be like, oh my God, you can do that here.
Oh wow, I remember drinking at bars.
Yeah.
I can't wait to drink at bars so I don't have to drink while reading.
Yeah. I see somebody saying that it actually made their life easier. They were able to get in and out faster and not have to look for parking.
Yeah. So, well, Andy Ngo thinks you're a liar, Green Bam One. So you're gonna have to. I don't know how you're gonna sleep at night, but shame on you. All right. Yeah. People could only travel in and out by foot. CHAZ residents had no need to purchase food or drinks, given that there were more than a dozen free food stations across the zone. He says as though this was bad.
That's true. There was so much free food everywhere.
And it was bad for business.
Well, while you were there, there was free food everywhere. Because I remember you tweeting from there.
Yeah.
Did you also buy food?
Oh, we sure did.
Oh, weird. I wonder what that is.
We ate a lot of really good free burritos. And then we also walked around the corner and bought a lot of really good Korean food. And in between, we bought a lot of beer from the place across the street from the Korean place that had beer. And I think we even got some snacks from there. Lots of people spending money at the couple of places that were open.
I really think the bigger point though is that nobody should be given food for free because it's bad for the economy.
Yeah.
That's bad. Feeding people is bad.
But it ruins the economy.
It does, and the economy is important.
When people are hungry, they don't want to be capitalism.
Yeah,
when people are fed.
Full. That's right.
Hungry people like
capitalism. It's their absolute favorite. All right. Donations from outsiders were dropped off around the clock, and people gifted so many pizza deliveries that CHAZ residents began turning down offers of free pizza slices.
I mean,
that is true. Andy Ngo is telling the truth. I myself turned down plenty of pizza, and I saw lots of other people turn down pizza because there was tons of free pizza.
Well, that's horrible. I've never heard anything so violent in my life. That is so much worse than graffiti. I can't. I'm gonna have nightmares.
Oh my God, people keep bringing us pizza. In the neighborhood I live in, I've had to turn down free pizza. Is this some of the violence done to the residents?
I am going to cut into this part, like that part of Apocalypse Now where it's like, the horror.
I personally remember violence on a similar scale that was once done to a party that I attended at a non-name brand version of Chuck E. Cheese in my childhood, where we had eaten lots of pizza and more pizza kept getting brought out. And we were like, I'm not going to be able to continue roller skating if I eat more pizza.
Thank you for sharing your trauma on stream.
It was violence on par with what Andy Ngo experienced at the CHAZ.
As someone who is lactose intolerant,
that is violence to everyone around you.
Yes. Pizza is not violence to me. It's to you.
Also, there was plenty of roller skating in the CHAZ.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. So basically exactly like Chuck E. Cheese.
It was very much ball pits.
No ball pits.
Because there was a pandemic, so no ball pits.
Yeah, all right, well, you know.
And no animatronic creepy thing. But
well, fuck it. I'm glad I didn't go then. Sounds horrible. In the early hours of June 14th, 2020, a hip-hop dance party in the middle of CHAZ was disrupted. Here we are. When someone announced that a fellow resident was being held at gunpoint.
Okay.
The man rallied the crowd, and within seconds, everyone ran after him. After several blocks of running, we arrived at Car Tender, an auto repair shop. Within minutes, the mob rushed the gate of the business, breaking it easily. They threatened to ransack and destroy the business. The rumor of someone being held at gunpoint turned out to be baseless. The business's security had detained Richard Hanks, 21, who allegedly broke inside and was trying to start a fire. Jason Rance, a Seattle-based conservative radio host and journalist, interviewed the business owners.
Okay, before we go any further, Jason Rance.
Okay.
Does it have a? I mean, it does sound like there's the beginning of a citation there.
Yeah, I mean, it does sound like he's gonna.
But we need to talk about who Jason Rance is.
Oh boy, who's Jason Rance?
So Jason Rance is like a close to. He's basically Seattle's version of a white straight Andy Ngo. He wrote a thing about how Antifa had destroyed the gender binary with their violence. That one time that Ted Wheeler tried to like curry favor with liberals by eliminating gendered language from the Portland City Charter.
No,
Jason Rance,
it's much less efficient. We should always use he or she or they.
Yeah, that's the right way. That's a good English. It works really well.
But Jason Rance wrote an entire thing about how terrorist Antifa had destroyed the gender binary and frightened cis people and like mandated gender nonconformity or something because Ted Wheeler had like pandered to liberals by eliminating gendered language from the city charter. So yeah,
I appreciate women.
Anyway,
well, as a cis person, I'm personally really offended by the existence of other people all the time. It's all I do is just be angry about other people existing.
It's okay.
As a trans person, I'm offended by your existence.
Excellent. We can all agree. This is,
Anyway, so yeah, there's a citation. It's Jason Rance. It's not actually a citation.
It's fantastic. Also, I love that Jason Rance did a rant.
Oh, it's all he does.
It makes me so happy.
Well, if that's your name.
There it is.
Oh, an aptly named Blake on our
Thank you, Shave Dice. Yeah, absolutely agree. Just the violence. Yeah. Oh boy! All right. Well, let's see what Jason Rance, very reputable source, has to say.
It's gonna be racist. Deep down inside somewhere, it's gonna be racist.
Oh boy. Okay. The Sun, Mason, told me they called 911 over a dozen times and they refused to send officers to pick up Hanks, the suspect, because SPD was told they couldn't get into the chop zone, Rance says. Mason told me over 100 people, several armed, showed up outside their business yelling at them to turn Hanks over or they'd burn the business down. They tore down the fencing around the building and stormed the yard, so Mason and his dad ended up releasing Hanks to the crowd. I'm not really seeing anything about anything actually getting lit on fire or stolen. I'm just seeing that there was a threat.
It sounds like there
And
was
also-
someone who
wait.
was being detained by a private business owner, and a bunch of people showed up and were like, "Hey, let that dude go."
Also, the private business owner says then that the crowd wants to burn the business down, but then Andy Ngo says that the person that they detained wanted to burn the business down.
Yeah, this is
It's
very
cool. No, it's okay.
confusing.
Keep going. I like conflicting accounts.
No, this is great. It's cool. Also, by the way, there is no citation. Like, he's citing rants, but there's no like citation.
Oh,
there's no
good.
footnotes.
Good,
So
good.
Wait,
Well, it's
yeah.
fine.
At the end of
Fine.
the book, is there like at least?
So there's like a list. There is like a bibliography, but it's not the same thing as the citations. You have to like cross-reference the citations to the bibliography. I think. I haven't actually tried to do this, but it exists.
Footnotes are things.
Yeah, I mean, he has the footnotes. He has footnotes. It's just footnotes aren't good.
Wait, he has footnotes?
Yeah, just not here. Yeah.
It's fine.
He's just not here.
I don't think he did well at PSU before
I
he found his
can't
career.
imagine. Like, if I was PSU, I would revoke his degree because this is bad.
What
and
did you major in?
Cite your sources.
I think it was graphic design. I
your
think graphic design is his passion.
I
Okay,
know
you don't
plenty
have
of
to cite
graphic
your-
designers who can still put footnotes on.
Yeah, I mean, it's
You
not
don't
hard.
necessarily have to cite your sources for graphic design, only for like your art history classes.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, it is, Anyway, we're going to continue this uncited account of a thing that definitely happened. By miracle, bloodshed was narrowly avoided. A large team of CHAZ volunteers successfully de-escalated the explosive situation by forming a human chain.
Wait, just go with it. Cool.
He's successful de-escalation by volunteers.
Andy's making a great case for Chop. Just keep going.
All right, yeah, you know what? Yeah, let
So
him
the
take it
cops
away.
didn't show up, and the community
okay.
de-escalated. Never mind. Go ahead, Andy.
Okay,
Sure.
okay.
Cool.
Andy can keep making a case for Chop. This is fucking
This is
hilarious.
great. It was the only time I witnessed CHAZ volunteers actually ending imminent conflict. There it is. Most of the time, riots gave into their base instinct and were uncontrollable. For example, a street preacher was pinned to the ground during one day and forcibly deported.
Oh,
Ding, ding,
wait.
ding.
If this is, I think I know who this guy was too.
I have a guess.
He's a pretty common feature in Portland and in Seattle. Sort of
Oh,
pops around.
yeah.
He's been forcibly ejected from BLM shit in Portland too.
Yeah, no, it's a whole thing because he's an asshole. He's an asshole. That's
An
the word.
asshole.
Is
Word
that
I was
the one with the
looking
sign?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God hates everybody,
Yeah,
every
everybody,
single person
everybody.
except for him, and
Repent
probably
from sin and things.
yeah, repent.
I mean, I will say,
yeah.
there's, did CHAZ security overreact to shit? Documentably, yes. I mean, there was, there was people, CHAZ, chop, whatever. But there were issues. We, even, while I was there was certainly situations where there was a panic about oh my God, somebody has showed up and they have there was a big panic that the feds were showing up or something that was getting turned into a hubbub in the wee hours of the morning. And when we got there, it was somebody from NBC News with a lavalier mic, and someone thought that it was a Fed wearing a wire because people were paranoid because they were worried the cops were going to come attack them. Which, to be fair, the cops were constantly trying to figure out ways to come in and attack them.
Yeah.
So whatever.
No. Yeah. I mean, yeah. We talked about this last week. We're not here to say that the CHAZ was utopia because demonstrably not.
No.
It's just that Andy Ngo is wrong, and he also did a thing that I pointed out earlier, where he gives an example of something that's good and then says that it was unusual as proof that it's always bad, and that's not how logic works at all. At all.
It's what we call the exception that proves the rule.
Yeah. Yes, the exception that proves the rule. But then he never you know what I mean? There's no rule here. It's just an exception, and then he's just yeah, but it's bad though.
But the other times it was bad.
Yeah, the other
times that I'm not describing,
yes,
it was bad.
Terrible.
It's okay. Keep describing the times that it wasn't bad and going with the false equivalency and
by all means
pretending that somehow that carries over. It's great.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Though mass violence was averted the night of the break-in at Car Tender, the business's address was put on the list of the Cop Blaster website, which purports to track police brutality and snitches. No word on whether they get stitches, though.
Okay.
I've never heard of the Cop Blaster.
It's okay.
Neither have I.
Was Cop Blaster, just for further information that's probably not there, did Cop Blaster exist prior to the
we may never know.
Oh,
We may never know whether that's true or not.
Okay, and since I left
Any
all of my
reference to
smart
what the
devices
Cop Blaster
downstairs to
website is?
actually-
Does
Yeah.
it say website, Cop Blaster?
There does seem to be a citation at the end of this paragraph. Let's see if it has anything to do. His shop has been subject to frequent harassment and threats ever since. A private security firm that volunteered to help the business later said they found a cache of weapons, including a semi-automatic rifle and loaded magazines, hidden in a nearby bush. There is a citation, actually. Let's find out what it is. As soon as I can click it.
I'm really enjoying my card. I feel like I have a purpose.
Oh,
tonight.
who's it from?
Jason Rance.
Yes!
Yes!
Bullshitters love bullshit.
Yeah. Also, who the fuck stores a semi-automatic rifle in a bush? Those things are really hard to buy right now.
I know.
I would like to
I
find a
have
bush
never
semi.
once stored a semi-automatic rifle in a bush because I would be worried someone would take it.
Yeah, I like my guns. I don't want to.
Also, that's irresponsible.
It's irresponsible.
gun.
Yeah,
At
what if a
least,
child
at
found
the
that?
very least, you store your semi-automatic rifle and your magazines in separate bushes.
Yeah, exactly. That is legal. You are obligated.
I really like
And
the
then you
idea
gotta
that
lock your bushes.
Okay, you gotta lock your bushes. You got to. You gotta
I
lock
actually
them.
really like the idea that you just store it in a bush, but with a barrel lock.
I imagine Rance went into the barrel lock on his show.
Because that would be kind of amazing.
Also, isn't this just proof that Antifa is in support of an unregulated Second Amendment?
It does seem that way.
Even
it does seem
bushes
like
have the
it.
right to bear arms.
Yes, everyone gets a gun in Antifa hell. You must have a gun. It's enforced, and you have to store it in a bush.
Antifa will break into your house and give you a gun.
Oh God, it's horrible.
I have no citation.
You don't need one. One glaring blind spot in the mainstream media coverage of CHAZ was how the space gave platform to violent extremist ideologies. Reports about CHAZ's political agenda focused shallowly on racial justice and
Shallowly?
defunding the police. Yeah.
Shallowly? Like the
Shallowly?
entire fucking thing!
It's
Like, the whole
shallowly
fucking thing.
focused on a very clear and tangible policy goal, which was remove funding from the Seattle Police
It's
Department.
very clear. Very clear.
It is a shallow.
Well, but let's find out what the deeper meaning is, because clearly that was a lie. Okay, yeah. Rather than its explicit calls to kill cops and overthrow the government, hundreds of graffiti message and images lined the zone, showing dead pigs wearing police hats.
Okay, there were. I see. This is where there's a misunderstanding.
Okay,
So there were pictures of cartoon pigs with X's for eyes, wearing little police hats,
Yeah, okay.
and Andy understandably extrapolated from this that people were planning to murder police officers in much the same way as, like, you know, when a kid is writing, like, I hate school, and then draws a little picture of a school with fire. And
It's okay, we all threw those out after Columbine.
that's true. I guess post-Columbine,
no one did that.
nobody does that anymore. Certainly no one has ever drawn.
we are too old.
No.
No one does that.
No one does.
So
that
also, I'm curious whether this means that Ben Garrison has just been nonstop issuing death threats for the entirety of his professional career.
Andy knows next book, Ben Garrison expose. I'm calling it.
So the thing that I really appreciate, though, is that here are the things that we want, and here's the things that then we do, having an area to claim those things that we want,
Right.
are the shallow motives because there's some graffiti
Right.
where white nationalists and neo-fascists say we would like to genocide African American, like
Or
Black and
even
Jews,
say
and, like,
we would like to go to
just-
Cider
and-
Riot and commit
No.
violent assaults.
yeah, but also, and then do
Weird.
no, but we have people who then try to raid the Capitol building on the same claims that they've been saying online. It's not their actual motivations.
I don't understand where you're going with
A
this.
piece of graffiti is your real motivations, and and what you say and do is your
Look,
fake
if
motivations.
you say it on Parler,
So wait. So if they graffiti
after giving Parler your
maybe
social
it's
security number,
maybe it's because they
that's-
graffitied peace somewhere while they were raiding the
yeah,
Capitol.
that's probably what
See,
it is.
there we go.
There it is. Yeah, now we know, and
Okay.
that's why white nationalists are fine. Actually, please take that out of context, clip it, and have me just saying that, and put it on the internet.
Done. 6 seconds later.
Yes. Excellent. I look forward to my
Space Jesus, yes, Andy Ngo was present while a whole bunch of white nationalists waved various destructive implements, said things like, who's got the weapons, and we're gonna go fuck them up, immediately before they went and assaulted people at Cider Riot. He was on his phone and laughing about it.
Breaking someone's spine.
Oh yeah, fractured someone's vertebrae.
Yeah, and then he got on the internet, and didn't he dox that person? The person who got their spine broken, did he dox them?
But that person wasn't a business. And so therefore no violence occurred.
No violence happened. Yes.
Cider Riot was a business, but it was an anarchist business.
Which does not count.
It wasn't.
They had Circle A's on their bike racks, so
close enough. Well, we've established that's all that matters.
That's all that
determination of ideology.
You put up, that's what shows the baseline of your ideology.
It's perfect. It's
bulletproof. Graffiti is just going to start saying citation.
We're just going to spray paint it everywhere because that is god.
That's my ideology.
Yep.
Yeah. We've got some obviously not cited, but we have some we've got some quotes from Graffiti.
And also, no, absolutely nothing happened to him for it.
No.
Instead, he got to completely ignore the fact that there is a lawsuit pending.
That's a $1 million lawsuit against Joey Gibson.
Yeah, who, by the way, I mean, absolutely deserves it.
Yeah. Which Joey Gibson was not present for the part where Andy Ngo is on his phone laughing in response to people saying things like, who's got the weapons, and we're going to go fuck them up.
Yeah.
Joey Gibson was not present. One of the conversations that Andy Ngo was present for was, when is Joey gonna get here? Because fascists are sad babies who can't go do their violence if their daddy isn't there to tell them it's violence time.
Violence daddy, best daddy. All right, so let's read some about this Graffiti. Quote, "No work, no cops, end this stupid fucking world," read one message. "Voting keeps you tame. Yes. All politicians are the same," read another.
Yes.
Okay. Around CHAZ, Antifa had also marked their territory, I assume by peeing.
There was a lot of public urination in like alleyways and stuff that totally happened, but there was a ton of porta potties too, and they were actually getting regularly serviced.
That's
I don't know, when I'm in the forest and I want to keep wild pigs at bay, I definitely urinate the edge of my territory.
Sure. I mean, we are animals. And I'm not. Anyway, he says he actually says it's the red and black flag of anarchist communism, which was painted on several buildings. Anarchist communism, a real ideology.
Communism was not painted on any buildings while I was there. Mostly because I don't know of any anarcho-communists who call themselves anarchist communists.
Never.
Usually the red and black flag is like anarchist.
Yeah, it's also very specifically anarchist syndicalist.
It's all the same. It's all Antifa.
Andy
No, if you are a researcher on...
We have established he is not.
Yes.
But if you claim to be a researcher...
Citation not needed.
He does not claim to be a researcher. I don't think that's a claim he's ever made. Yeah, piss on streets. It's
okay. I'm pretty sure he thinks the black and yellow flag is for anarcho.
It's anarcho peeing in
That's what it is. We're gonna start this movement. Yeah. It's gonna be the official flag.
Black and yellow flag, anarcho piss boy. That's the official flag. Perfect. Just kidding. Anarcho-capitalists don't exist. Property is theft.
Let's see here. Yeah. So there were stickers plastered around for the Anti-Fascist Action Group.
Oh. Maybe.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I've seen
there was a lot of stickers.
There's also a lot of different anti-fascist actions. Yeah. I follow an entire Instagram account that's just really cool, different anti-fascist action logos from like around the world.
It turns out lots of people don't like fascists.
Yeah. It's because they're bigots. Fascists are people too. Take that out of context.
It's okay. The original anti-fascist action.
Fascists are not people.
No.
Fascists are assholes. Not Germany.
Yeah.
No.
He does actually have a whole chapter where he talks about the evil origins of the anti-fascists in 1930s Germany.
Oh, but also which is funny because another thing was happening in Portland also in the 1930s when the Nazi boat came.
The Nazi boat.
And then the PPB arrested a whole bunch of Jewish anti-fascists, which is how they were described in the Oregonian, for protesting the Nazi boat.
I actually did not know that part.
So maybe Antifa did start in Portland. And all it took was a Nazi boat sailing down the
It's not
harbor.
called anti-fascist action. Then.
No, it was not. It was just a bunch of Jews who were mad about the idea that Nazis were sailing a boat into Portland and getting a parade about it.
It's, I mean, yeah, no notes. Wow. Oh, y'all. I just wanted to. Luis Marquez is about to get another shout out. Andy Ngo's favorite person.
I don't know who that is.
Look, they're all obsessed with Luis.
That guy. Okay.
Yeah, you know, Portland activist, CEO of Antifa, just asked the right. They're obsessed. Mm-hmm. They're obsessed. So we got a shout out. I even saw Rose City Antifa member Luis Marquez with his friends at CHAZ. For those who ignored the ubiquitous graffiti, so he just throws that in the middle of a paragraph about graffiti. He just throws in a name for what the fuck is this? That was not a paragraph break.
No, it's okay. I just randomly saw this person who you are all supposed to know.
Yeah.
Because I personally find them incredibly important.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like if we were all to note that Andy Ngo was at a queer dance party in a public park, and then a whole bunch of people were to spill milkshakes. It's just a thing that happened in the course of an afternoon.
These things happen, yeah. All right, so we now leave completely.
But we wouldn't do that because, in general, at the time, he was not interesting enough to be bother to note.
I didn't spill any milkshakes. I was just dancing.
I mean, probably violently though. Or was it violent dance?
Violent booty shaking.
Oof.
I mean, you have booty shorts.
I did have violent booty shorts.
Violence. Mm-hmm. God, I shudder. I shudder to think of the violence done that day by happy people dancing. So continuing on with the graffiti, for those who ignored it, they could also read some posters and signs. COVID-19 is the virus. Capitalism is the pandemic, declared one sign posted around CHAZ. Mm-hmm. One large handwritten poster stated, "Death to capitalism." It blamed capitalism for racism and poverty.
There's arguments to be made about whether racism is dependent on capitalism or
capitalism
is dependent on racism. Yeah, no, it's a chicken and egg.
Perhaps they're an intersecting series of mutually reinforcing oppressions.
Possibly.
Anyway, continue.
Well, I'm sure Andy Ngo will get into the nuances of this argument shortly.
Andy Ngo, noted intersectional.
I would really love. I really appreciate the way that Andy Ngo throws out lots and lots of factually true things, and then comes to completely weird wingnut conclusions. They said, here's this graffiti. That's a thing. That's totally true. I won't elaborate on it.
You know what I think we might...
please keep including these really interesting tidbits for your readers.
Yeah.
Because I really love the idea of people reading that and being like, why would they say that? Huh. And then thinking about it, because
I wonder if perhaps capitalism is foundational to racism as it exists in the United States of America in 2021. Perhaps I, a Fox News watcher, should think more about this.
Or Google search it.
Yeah, to be able to disprove it, which is how a lot of my shit began, where I was like, that's not true and I can prove it. And then I'm like, oh dear, I can't.
Good job inceptioning Antifa, Andy.
Good
job.
Well done. Oh. Yes. Why is the whiskey always gone?
Because I have the smallest cup.
That is true. And it's not fair. While you refill your whiskey,
the smallest person.
I will continue to explore.
One other note here. Andy seems to be really obsessed with the idea that there was lots of violence.
Yeah.
And then he describes violence against the idea of police as represented in pictures of cartoon dead pigs.
We already know that graffiti is
violence,
and also the true meaning of everything.
And so if you have
violent graffiti everywhere,
we're doing a Jordan Peterson. Everything is subtext. The things people say out loud can't possibly be true. It must all be whatever Bolshevist something. Cultural Marxism. So I was about to say Jewish Bolshevism, but that was like 70
totally
years
different.
ago.
That's totally different.
Cultural
Not
Marxism.
even remotely, completely, totally the same.
But I'm just pointing out that there's also this interesting thing where he's like, and violence, graffiti, like that time that people said death to capitalism. So maybe when we jokingly said earlier that fascists weren't people, it's actually just that Andy Ngo is trying to form a sense of non-people solidarity with a bunch of abstract ideas.
Yeah.
Because what if the abstract idea of capitalism has death wished upon it? Isn't that really violence?
That's terrible violence.
It's horrible
violence. I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
More than violence to property, violence ideal and an imaginary system of currency and thought.
Not
The
violence
worst.
to an idea. V for Vendetta told me ideas were bulletproof.
God, I
Can you
can't.
hold this, please?
Incredible. Political groups also moved in to capitalize on the opportunity to recruit new members.
I'm sure.
The Democratic Socialists of America
Yeah.
featured prominently via a booth.
Yeah, they
Did
totally got a booth.
Spartacus have a table too?
Spartacus did not have a table.
Oh, they
Nope,
should have
they did
though.
not.
Oh, they would make so much money.
the Revolutionary Communist Party totally showed up at some point. I don't think it was while I was there, but they, of course.
No
they-
comment. No
Right.
comment. There's my
Speaking
comment.
of grifters.
Yeah, speaking of grifters and cults.
Oh,
Fuck it, this is fine. So yeah, Evil Booth. The DSA had been given a veneer of mainstream respectability with the popular rise of Senator Bernie Sanders and Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, two politicians endorsed by the party.
I mean, yeah, but I also don't think Bernie is a member of the DSA.
I'm pretty sure not, and I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is not.
I mean, she's whatever. They both describe themselves as democratic socialists. It's fine.
Whatever.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, Bernie is a communist, and he wants to kill all of your ideas.
Every single one murdered, like with blood spattered everywhere. Just
idea blood,
idea blood,
like
the worst kind of
out
blood.
of the elevator, like in The Shining. Just
Yeah,
idea blood everywhere.
Oh, just like ocean spray, like during the shower.
Get like some anime, like
Yep.
you know, yeah, definitely.
Bernie Sanders is the Jason Voorhees of all of your ideas.
Yes, it's
and he's
absolutely
being
true.
helped by all of the horrible people in the DSA who also want to murder all of the ideas.
You can tell they're doing it by putting little rose emojis next to their names.
The rose
That's how
stands
they
for
kill
blood.
things.
That's right. It's the blood rose. Yes, yeah.
It's blood rose.
Yeah, don't
Like
be from the
what's his
subtext.
face from the Hunger Games.
Oh,
It's,
yeah.
it's all
Ooh.
connected, people.
Oh my god. Oh my god. My mind is blown. My
We are
third eye is
going
open.
to build a new conspiracy theory right here, right now.
Incredible.
Sorry.
Fuck the entire Mockingjay. We have a rose.
All right. But reading their manifesto makes clear that they are traditional socialists with the explicit agenda of abolishing capitalism. We have a citation.
I believe the Democratic Socialists ultimately would like to abolish capitalism.
Yeah, no, it seems to be a.
I think they put it in their goddamn name.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. And yeah, it is in fact a citation to a document by the DSA, so I assume that's true. Okay.
I wonder if perhaps the argument of the Democratic Socialists of America might be that capitalism is antithetical to both socialism and democracy.
Huh.
I wonder if that might be.
Oh, that's weird. I'm sure not. No, I'm
No,
sure they just
it's-
want to kill everybody.
just-
Yeah.
Just violence.
Just
to
violence.
ideas.
Just violence to ideas. Yeah. For sure. Another group that set up in CHAZ was the Seattle Revolutionary Socialists, who share a similar agenda to the DSA, but are more explicit about their
Okay.
regime change ambitions.
No shit. They have the word
Wait,
revolution. in their name.
Weird.
Andy, is regime change bad? Do we not like regime change?
Oh shit! Yeah, I thought we were fans. I thought we liked regime. It's the best.
I guess the regime change is bad.
It's the only way to save hearts and minds and have a domino effect in the Middle East, so that we can save all those people from
No,
whatever
all
it
of-
is that they
all
have.
of his followers just to try to prevent a regime change in the United States.
Shit! How the tables have turned. Love that this book came out before that event, or
Oh.
after, but in publication clearly. Beautiful. Tellingly,
Yeah.
There
what
was-
does the city of roses mean? You're right, Red Dealer.
it's
blood.
City
City
of
of blood.
Oh my god.
Um.
So this is brace yourselves for this revelation.
Okay.
Tellingly,
Tell me. Do tell.
there was no Democratic Party presence at CHAZ.
Weird. Do you think that the Democrats like cops?
Weird.
Do you think maybe the Democrats aren't abolitionists
Oh,
and
that's so
actually
weird.
just like cops and
Is
capitalism?
it possible?
Do you think that Democrats have ever had a history of reinforcing
White supremacy?
Yeah.
I wonder if the Democratic Party
Ever?
has ever had a history
what were
of,
the
for
Southern
example,
Democrats? What were the
collaborating
Southern
with the Ku Klux Klan to run an entire
Oh.
northwestern city for
Weird.
decades?
Or were Dixie
As
Carter
if are we in
for
that
an
city
entire-
Are we
right
in that
now?
city right now?
We're in that city
Oh my
right
god!
now.
Right now, literally right now. It's so
Maybe-
weird.
Maybe Democrats aren't actually going to save.
And really is just like I don't know what the pill is, but he's giving us a pill. Like he's what is it? I don't know. Like he's helping. He's inceptioning.
Yeah, he's inceptioning.
Yeah,
it's an emetic. The pill he's giving us. It's the thing that just makes you puke your guts out until you have nothing left to puke, and then you stare into the toilet bowl and you go, "What am I doing with my life?" So when you're reading Andy's book,
very accurate.
Think about that while you get very drunk.
Oh wow, that is. Oh, I gotta sit with that for a second. Very real. As leftwards as the Democrats had swung in reaction to Trump,
they hadn't.
The party is still viewed as too moderate for the revolutionaries who want the abolition of police, capitalism, and the United States itself. They mean it when they chant, "No Trump, no wall, no USA at all."
They do.
No
they
notes.
do mean that.
No notes.
The Democratic Party doesn't say that.
Yeah, no. The no pill, I like that. It makes you British.
Yeah. And the Democratic Party is the farthest left anyone
We've
has
got
ever
it.
been.
We're being rose pilled. This is the answer. Thank you. We're all being rose pilled today. All right. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
What happens when you go farther?
Then you get to Morticia Adams clipping the heads off of the roses.
Beyond political parties, extremists set up tables where they distributed extremist agitprop literature and instruction manuals printed from anarchist think tanks or zine collectives.
So zines.
What's
zines?
What's
like zines, like from the 90s.
Okay, other than the Institute for Anarchist Studies, what's an anarchist think tank? I only.
That is really confusing.
Machine.
I only know of one.
It doesn't hurt. It feels fine.
I'm just putting it out there that the Institute for Anarchist Studies, which rules, is the only anarchist think tank I can think of, and I didn't see any zines published by the IAS at CHAZ. So,
and
well,
also enlisting tanks are actually dictating public policy. They're not actually think tanks. They're just groups of people that get together to discuss philosophy.
You mean if, for example, there was if there was a series of heavily funded far-right think tanks with
like the
direct
American Enterprise
ties
Institute?
to the Republican Party that pushed the idea that, for example, freedom meant the ability to sell yourself into slavery.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Maybe those, like the American Enterprise Institute, maybe that would be a think tank, and maybe a bunch of teenagers publishing a zine is a bunch of teenagers publishing a zine like they did with the Samizdat in the Soviet Union, Andy.
No, it's violence. It's literal violence. It's the worst thing. They're going to take over America. They're doing it right now. They're probably in your house. There could be a zine in your house right now. Do you know where your children are? They could be making zines.
There are zines in this room right now. Laura is infected with zines.
Oh, God!
It's called Rad Dad. It's from the 90s. It's a parenting zine. It was really cute.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Rad Dad is freaking adorable. I had so many issues of it.
You start with Rad Dad, and next thing you know, you're in CHAZ giving zines to people. And that's the worst thing. And free burritos, which is also the worst. Wow, sounds amazing. By the end of the day, they'd all been given out to anyone who walked by, including children and youth. They were giving zines to kids! Oh, God!
As a former youth who received zines.
Well, look at you now.
What happens.
Look what happens. You're in an underground bunker.
I'm in an underground bunker with a laptop propped against a box of 5.56 screens.
This is your brain on zines.
Yep. If you let your children read anarchist propaganda zines, they too will turn into 9.5-mile tall trans ladies. It's just a thing that's going to happen.
That's fact, and facts don't care about your feelings. Oh God, we'll do a whole episode about how to check your house for zines, because that is a really important.
Is it like the wolves in the walls?
Yeah, it's very much like the wolves in the walls.
Yeah. All right, well, let's keep. I don't know if y'all are ready to keep learning about more horror.
I am
but
ready.
Also, last time, Taylor, the way that you go about checking your house for zines is you light it on fire, because zines are made of paper, and afterwards you can make sure that
you burn down your house.
It's the only way to be sure. It's the only way to be sure. Yeah, children and youth. In one booklet entitled "Blockade, Occupy, Strike Back," instructions are given on how to use human shields against police and how to make rudimentary bombs using light bulbs and paint.
That's not a bomb.
That's not a bomb. That's not how bombs work.
That's paint.
That's paint and a light bulb.
That's paint with a lot of shitty sharp glass.
Which is not great. I mean, I don't like throwing sharp glass.
Do you think Andy has ever in his life started a fire?
No. No,
Andy,
I don't believe it.
protest.
So there's a
If you have a
far-right
light
book
bulb
called Man Trap.
and you have paint,
I'm just
and
gonna
you-
put out there.
so
for
let's say
things-
this is a light bulb.
things that are
And
available
this
on
is
the
paint.
internet that
We
are not
pour
the
the
leftist
paint
scene.
into the light bulb. It's never going to explode,
I'm not gonna
Andy.
explode now. Paint
It's
is
just
not flammable.
It's just a light bulb full of paint, Andy. It's like
That's all it is.
somebody might hurt themselves if they cut themselves on it.
That seems
But
bad.
you know what? Cops got really good boots, Andy. They're gonna be fine.
Really
Don't
good
worry. Don't worry,
A lot
Andy.
of body armor.
I
They
know
got
you're
face
worried about the
shields.
cops.
They
It's
got
gonna be
shield
okay.
shields.
It's gonna
Also,
be
are
okay.
these fluorescent lights or incandescent? Because you
Not
actually take them apart in way different ways.
Wait, okay, hang on.
We do have a citation.
Between all of us, we have a
Really?
lot of really good goggles and various other safety gear, and I'm just putting it out there that if we got one of those,
If
a
it was
couple
a
of those really
fluorescent
long
one-
fluorescent tubes,
Sword
and
fighting.
fill them with paint,
Ah!
lightsaber.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my
Oh.
god! Immediately.
Fluorescent
This stream is
ones
canceled. We're
are
doing that right
the
now.
Weird explosion thing, by the way. Like fluorescent tubes are way harder to just take apart. That's why I'm asking.
Okay,
what
well,
type of
we can
light
just
bulb.
do a regular
'Cause also, who
lightsaber
has
fight with fluorescent
incandescents
light.
anymore? Like it's
That's
fucking
true.
2020.
2020. What are you
Like
doing?
no one
Yeah.
has incandescents.
Well, it's
I don't know
easy.
what
I
you're
mean-
going to do.
To be
Yeah.
fair, we have all seen grotesquely out of date information published in zines. That's traditional. That's how you know it's a zine.
That makes
It's
sense to
fine.
me. Yeah.
Anyway,
All right. So, a large crowd, especially of ordinary, everyday people, is our first line of defense against police attack, the manual reads.
Right.
By the way, the citation was to the zine.
Let's get 2 cents.
sure.
If the police build barricades, the crowd will be between us and the cops rather than outside police lines. As riots continued in Portland and elsewhere in the following months, Antifa militants used these instructions in their riot formations. Additionally, light bulb paint bombs were routinely used to attack police.
Did you ever
So first off, citation needed, and secondly, wouldn't that have been in the cops? Like, you know how Portland police
Yeah.
is like puts out their photos
Mhm.
of a bunch of things that were definitely not present at any protest the next day.
Yeah.
like that
So-
yellow jug? Remember
Oh,
that
I
yellow
remember the
jug?
yellow
It
jug,
showed
that's
up in
cool.
so many pictures.
Yeah, they love the yellow jug. Oh my god.
Oh.
But I do have good news for you. There is a citation, and it's to the PPB.
Oh.
Wait, but this is Seattle that was apparently
Yeah.
seeing them.
It's very confusing.
So,
that's the citation,
Wait,
though.
so why
so
would
the
you have a
PPB
cite-
saw people doing stuff in Seattle?
Apparently.
Why is the PPB traveling across state lines to
That seems like a
surveil
waste of
people?
money.
That seems like a waste of taxpayer money.
Yeah, I
Andy.
don't like that.
Are you accusing the PPB of wasting taxpayer money,
Yeah.
Andy?
Incredible. Andy.
Yes, he is.
He's
Andy
rose-pilling
Ngo,
us. He's still rose-pilling
noted
us.
enemy of the PPB.
Yes. Thank God. Good job, Andy. For once, you know. Thank you for coming around to our side.
You and us both, buddy.
Oh my God. All right. The light bulb bombs primarily serve the purpose of obscuring cops'
Wait,
vision.
are we still talking about that?
Oh
Out of
yeah.
curiosity,
Oh,
also,
we're never
why-
gonna
Out
stop.
of curiosity, why would you also use a light bulb when water balloons exist?
I-
You know
yeah,
what's
that seems
easier
very
to
confusing.
transport than a light bulb full of paint?
People have
Most
used water
things.
balloons full of paint.
Most
Like
things.
that is a
Water balloons full of
verifiably
paint.
true-
I
You're
have been.
right.
Wait.
Yeah.
Do we have a?
Ooh.
Have we all been?
Wait. See that? See that right
Oh
there?
my God.
See these white spots?
Literal
These are white
violence.
spots on my pants
Literal
from
violence.
water balloons full of paint, which were definitely thrown at cops during Portland protests. It happened.
You gotta have a moment
They
of
were
silence.
light bulbs, Andy.
Why you gotta
why
lie?
are light
Why
bulbs
you gotta
important?
lie?
You gotta lie like this, Andy. Why are you like this? Oh my God. Yeah, no, we are definitely still talking about that. We're never going to stop talking about that. The rest of this book is nothing but light bulb paint bombs.
Sorry.
They
Sorry, we're living
primarily
this sentence forever.
they primarily serve the purpose of obscuring cops' vision.
That's
Those who
true.
don't wear riot gear are cut by the shattered glass.
I have never seen a cop cut by shattered
I've
glass.
also
or
never
out of
s-
riot gear.
Or out of riot gear.
Or a light bulb bomb.
Or like,
Okay, in fairness to the Seattle PD, because it's unclear which police
I just
department we're
imagine
talking
a
about.
fluorescent bulb now with it going up a little spiral.
yes!
Oh,
Oh, that'd be
yeah.
really cool, though.
I
Okay,
know, but you still can't open up a vacuum tube like that.
you cannot.
Does
So,
not happen.
so really unclear to me which.
I'm just gonna keep going on about the science of this
Yeah.
because
No,
it
this is-
bothers
well,
me
it's
so
so-
much
it's
more
really
than the
upsetting.
truth.
Well,
like-
so a lot of fluorescents aren't actually vacuum. They're full of a different gas. Like
yeah, but
they're
you
full
still
of
just can't
not
open
just
them up and
ambient
fill
air.
them.
You
with stuff
cannot
like
just fill them up with air. Yeah, it's not a thing. But also, so I did see cops in Seattle who weren't in riot gear. There was
Oh,
the
well,
one.
that's weird.
There was the one cop
Can't happen.
inside. They had
that. They do
gotten
use
let
those.
in.
They do use those weird bike cops.
They had the weird bike
who
cops.
are all decked out like they're in Watchmen.
Yeah, they are were all decked out
So
more
weird.
or less like they were in
I
Watchmen.
don't even know what to do with this.
And who, like, a phalanx of them biked in one morning as I was walking back towards the CHAZ. There was also the cop who had apparently, along with a couple other people, been admitted to the to the East Precinct, and was then inside of the building explaining to people that they were just moving their stuff out. And despite all of the militant, violent language that Andy Ngo is describing here, just want to put out there that all it took to defuse the CHAZ was some cops walking up to some random people on the street and being like, hey, can we go into this building? We're just going to move our stuff out. And that person
said yes.
Believed them.
And everyone else backed up that person.
And then a bunch, not everybody.
No, but they did just let it happen.
And then a bunch of other people spent multiple hours, like, you know, a couple dozen people spent multiple hours arguing with everybody else in the CHAZ about how they should let the cops move out all of their shit. While people said, you let the cops back into the precinct, they're never leaving. And that was basically the entire day was that argument happening, and nobody pulled a gun, Andy. Nobody pulled a gun. There were no fist fights, Andy. Anyway.
Wow. I do have some good news.
Okay.
Very little. We are finally done with the light bulb bombs. I think. We'll see. We'll see. Another booklet given out at CHAZ was titled "Against the Police and the Prison World That They Maintain." Citation, I assume, to the zine.
That seems fine.
Yeah, no notes so far.
If we might have
we live on a prison planet, and cops make it true that we live on a prison planet.
Even Alex Jones thinks so. He's got a whole website about it.
He does have a whole website called Prison Planet.
Yeah, because he knows. He knows the truth. Alex Jones is the conspiracy.
Rose pill.
Oh, amazing. Brandon Farley's entered the chat. Thanks for the $5. Let's see here. Another booklet given out. Did Brandon
Farley just give you $5?
Oh yeah, no, he loves to do this. He just gives me super chats. No one knows why.
What are you doing with your life?
Why are you like this? Hey, no, keep giving me money. I love it. We're gonna ignore you.
Give Laura as much money
as much money as you can. I love money. The whiskey's expensive. It features short essays on why police.
If people want a tip, we could send it to mutual aid orgs in Texas.
That's true.
We
can. That's a really good idea. Yes, that is what we will do. That is what we will do.
Yep. Any tips will go to mutual aid in Texas.
Yeah.
Because people are freezing in their houses.
They literally have like towers full of electricity of like luxury hotels that are unoccupied while the entire city around them is huddled in freezing darkness.
Oh, and they don't have drinkable water either.
Yeah, which by the way, I'm glad you brought that up. If you look in the description, you'll notice I don't have Patreon information in there because, it seems gauche while Texas is freezing. So, please do that. And thank you for reminding me.
Or just donate directly to those orgs as well. Find
an org.
Mutual aid.
Yeah, help our people freezing in Texas. What the fuck is capitalism? Let's read about how these bad people want to destroy it. One section explains how the media are enemies used to pacify revolutionaries. Quote, our contempt for the media is inextricable from our hatred of this entire world, the booklet reads. Oh boy, that is a sentence, I'll give you that.
Wait, so what's...
Our contempt for the media
is inextricable from our hatred of this entire world.
I'm not going to lie, I have met plenty of 17 to 19-year-olds who agreed fully with that.
Yeah.
Come on. We agreed.
I have been a 17 to 19-year-old who agreed fully with that sentiment.
Yeah, I was a 17 to 19-year-old who signed up to go kill people in the Middle East. So y'all win. Moving on from that. Sorry about it.
We went to
yes, Brandon Farley, please, by all means.
Which was a frankly good move. We got.
Just yes, do it.
I would be really owned if you did that.
Oh man,
truly, I would.
Laura would cry.
I would cry all night. Like I would pretend to be okay, but I wouldn't be. I would be shattered by.
$100 to mutual aid org.
If Brandon Farley donates $100, which we will then give to mutual aid orgs in Texas, Laura will cry.
Probably cut myself. Sorry, TW. I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry. This is why I'm going to be canceled, and I do apologize. But I will cry for sure. I'll cry. The booklet reads, attacks on journalists who are accused of not towing the line were commonplace in CHAZ and generally any event organized by the far left.
Everybody was real nice to us.
Weird. almost like
We towed the line.
you towed the line.
We were
That's
so
what it was.
terrified of what's his face, the SoundCloud rapper.
Mhm.
It's also
He
been
was
taken out of
terrified.
context forever.
Yeah, no, everything. This whole stream is just us torpedoing whatever life we had. Attacks on journalists. Okay, yeah, and generally any event organized by the far left, they justify it by claiming self-defense to protect their identities from being unmasked through photos or video footage.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Like the
God damn it!
Of this book.
Oh, dude,
What the fuck?
Is Andy going to? Wait, he did it?
What?
Oh my god! What is happening right now?
Oh my god, I'm sad!
Look, you made Laura cry.
You just made $100 get donated to mutual aid orgs in Texas.
I'm gonna delete my account. Oh my god!
Don't say that. Then you'd have to do that too, in addition to cry.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm not gonna delete my account, but I will cry.
That's actually fucking awesome.
It
Because
is actually really cool. Like legitimately, Brandon Farley. Like shout out to you. That was super neat. Like
more
we're
people
gonna-
should donate $100 to mutual aid orgs
Yeah.
in Texas while people are
Yeah.
like legitimately freezing and
yeah,
doing
no, like
functional
legitimately,
water
Brandon. That
systems.
was super chill of you. Thank you. Good
There.
job. Yeah.
Stop being a fascist.
Yeah. Stop being a fascist. We can be friends. We'll hang out.
Don't fuck any more Nazis.
Don't
That was
fuck anymore.
weird.
Yeah, that was weird. Don't do that. Where's the whiskey? I need more whiskey for this. This is too weird. This is too weird to not be drunker than I am.
It's okay.
Well,
then we can get you to actually cry.
Yeah, it's true. I do
Drunk
cry when I get drunk. Drunk
on
crying.
a YouTube stream.
Very
Also,
on
if we run
brand.
out of larceny, we have monkey shoulders.
Oh, good. Which, not as on brand, but an excellent name, truly. Yeah, I don't think we need this cap. That's just going to get poured into glasses. Wow. Okay.
No, put the cap on because I'm going to keep
You're
it
right.
over.
Okay. Yeah. No, let's not do that.
Or the
Oh,
dog's
or
going to
the-
do it.
Ooh, the dog could do it. The dog is not 21.
She's a
not
good
allowed to
dog.
drink.
She's a good dog.
Another booklet distributed at the table stood out for its front cover artwork, a stark black and white image of a balaclava with the title "Accomplices, Not Allies." I've seen that one.
Oh yeah,
It's a good
it's
scene.
a rad
It's a
ass
good
scene.
scene. Yeah,
It's
it's a
really
great scene.
fantastic, and it's not about Antifa. Actually, it's
No.
about how to be a decent accomplice in a racial justice movement,
Yeah.
as opposed to some sort of person that keeps claiming I'm an ally while not actually.
Shout out to
participating.
Andy Ngo for publicizing the existence of a zine that everybody should go look up now,
Yeah, 'cause it's
especially
really good.
if you watch Fox News, called "Accomplices, Not Allies."
Yeah.
And
Look it
it's
up on the
great.
list.
I have specifically shared it with people
Yeah.
because it's a really good
I have
analysis of how to break
specifically,
down white supremacy
as
as
a
white
journalist, that when I go out need to separate myself from the movement that I'm documenting, but want to do so in a way that doesn't put people in harm's way, have read it to have ideas on how to document in ways that protect the communities that I'm documenting.
It's really
Yeah, because
Yeah.
ally is
just-
a weird label that people claim to try to whatever they're help shit.
Which
It's a
is not
good-
necessarily
it's a
what
good
I want
scene.
to do when I'm filming, but I also want to make sure that
No, but
People are
in
able to
terms of
do
the
that.
rules of white supremacy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Um,
it's a real good zine.
yeah.
Thanks, Andy. Way to publicize a good zine.
ooh, let's listen to his description of it. Are you ready?
So
The manual lists the problems of having allies.
Wait, what's a manual versus a manual?
I think it's a zine. I think zines
No.
are
zine,
manuals.
all
No.
zines are manuals.
No.
I got a printer and it came with a zine on how to use my printer.
I got some IKEA furniture once. and it
Oh,
came
those
with a
zines are
zine.
weird as fuck.
Oh,
There's no
with the-
words. There's just weird pictures.
Of
What's
the,
a comic?
of
That's
the
a
funny,
comic book.
yeah. The weird people with like geometric facial features.
Yeah.
And
Weird
sometimes they're
scene.
sad and alone, and then they find friends who help them build things
Yeah,
together because collective action gets the goods. Thank you, Comrade IKEA.
The manual lists the problems of having allies, for example, academics and nonprofits in the movement who are unwilling to participate in criminal direct action.
Go on.
Quite-
No, that's it. That's
Not-
the whole zine.
Not a
Oh.
complete summary, actually.
No,
And
no.
It also has a lot to do with how you relate to groups
Yeah.
and organizations, and the idea of the white savior complex.
Yeah, no, it's but that's all that shit, that's a really good comment. Why isn't it showing? There it is. So that's it. That's all we got for Accomplices Not Allies. And
Underselling the zine, Andy. There's a
Selling
lot
the
of
zine.
other good shit.
Yeah, it's a really good zine. Go check it out.
Yeah.
As CHAZ continued into its second week, Pleas from those who live and work inside Capitol Hill were ignored by the mayor and city council. Even subtle public jabs from the now former police chief Carmen Best were ignored. Okay.
Subtle jabs.
Subtle jabs. Yeah.
Actually, that is a very big case of.
Also, right?
Yeah.
I'm just going to put out there that Chuck Lovell has made a number of subtle jabs, and everybody ignores them because.
But also, you say.
Why would anyone pay attention?
But also,
yeah.
As a journalist, I bookmark them and save them on my computer, so later on when I reference them, I can pull them up so that I can cite my fucking work.
Oh, wait, you cite your sources? As a journalist?
Goddamn.
That's weird.
Oh, weird. When you write things and
Yeah.
refer to specific things that happen,
Do you want to
make
put
direct
date and
reference
time?
that allow people to track down your information and make sure you're
Okay.
not full of shit and a lousy grifter who's bad at his job?
I do actually.
Huh.
Weirdly.
Weird. You're not like Andy Ngo. Weird.
Yeah. Best stated that Carmen Best stated that police response times in the area had, quote, more than tripled, unquote, because the SPD was down a station for a large area of the city. What was previously a 5-minute response time for emergencies was now taking up to 18 minutes.
Not 18 minutes.
Terrible.
Oh.
We got a quote and a citation.
Okay.
Emergency calls, which often means someone's being assaulted. Sometimes it's a rape, sometimes it's a robbery, but something bad is happening if it's a top priority call and we're not able to get there. She told media at the time. There's a citation.
I wonder how many.
Does that have something to? Is it at all like in Portland, where there's at the same time, the reporters checked in with dispatch and were able to track that police cars were sitting idle during those same
I
periods?
remember that.
I wonder,
whole
since
thing.
that was figured out by
Yeah.
a real journalist who
Oh.
actually does work.
Oh.
I am just curious if
So not
Andy
like
Ngo checked with dispatch to see if that account was verified by where cars were at the same time.
Sorry, are you asking if Andy Ngo did research? Because I think we know.
We
from
already
this
know the
book
answer.
That Andy Ngo did not.
Did
do
not.
I know, but I just am bringing that up because at some point people are going to write books in the future and say, and having a constant record of how fucking bad this is
So,
really important. The specific reasons as to why.
Again, personal observation that I can share. There was a time where the police in the precinct, when they were let back into the precinct, were like, but what if there's an emergency and we need to move emergency vehicles through the area? And everybody who was standing outside of the precinct was like, cool, let us know. And we can let vehicles through if that's necessary. And the same day, a fire truck was coming down towards the CHAZ with its lights on, responding to a fire. And everybody was like, oh shit, do we need to move the barricade? And was moving to get the barricade out of the way. And then the fire truck just took a left and went around the entire area of the CHAZ. And it took them less than 20 seconds to reroute around the CHAZ because the CHAZ was a very small area.
He is making it sound like an entire country.
It was the whole state of Washington.
The whole state of Washington.
And actually included Portland because that's the only area that he cares about and hates.
Yeah, and a lot of his citations are from there, so I assume everything was CHAZ.
Everything north of Salem.
We will make
was
everything CHAZ. It will all be CHAZ.
Except it was CHOP
and CHOP.
Still...
We'll also make everything CHOP.
The CHOP thing is weird. I don't know. There's a
I've been trying. It was definitely CHOP, and we will make everything.
While
CHOP.
we were there, it was.
You will be CHOP. I will be CHOP. Everything is CHOP. The whole world will be CHOP, and there will be chaos. I'm going to keep reading. Not only did the city of Seattle refuse to restore order, they actually provided periodic upgrades to CHAZ. On June 16th, 2020, the city brought in concrete street blockades that also doubled as graffiti canvases. Graffiti, the worst thing that's ever happened.
Yes.
Wait, is he saying that people did graffiti?
I think he might be
on Capitol Hill. Was there graffiti?
It's okay. He hasn't already covered this.
Andy, I wonder if when all of the people who really liked your book stormed Congress and tried to kill
No, they
half
did,
of the
'cause that
government
would've been
on Capitol Hill, different
super
Capitol
weird.
Hill. I wonder if they
Capitol
did any
Hill.
graffiti.
They didn't.
Or was it
because that would have
fine?
been violence against
That
property.
would be
Oh.
They would never. They would just try
No,
to kill
instead
like
they just like killed a couple of security guards and beat
Yeah.
a guy to death with a
Right.
Oh
It's-
yeah, with a fire
extinguisher.
extinguisher, which is super cool to do.
If only
But they didn't hurt any
CHAZ
property.
had
Which is what's
restrained itself to only murdering 2 cops.
Mhm.
If
They
they
did
had
break a
just
window.
murdered
Yeah.
2
But they
cops
didn't
instead of
graffiti.
all the graffiti, we wouldn't have to read about this at all.
Yeah, no, you could have
'Cause it wouldn't have been
It's
violence.
okay.
Yeah.
Graffiti
No.
is something that started, according to all of his audience, in the 80s, and therefore
Mhm.
is the worst.
Yeah, when motorcycle.
Be on that wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when graffiti was invented.
Yeah,
In
and
the
then there's
80s.
never been graffiti before,
Never.
and now we have to live with the scourge, the subtext of graffiti.
Mhm.
And
The cultural Marxism.
yes, the
of
cultural Marxism of graffiti. Let's see here. Yeah, the city maintained cleaning services, wash stations, and portable toilets for the occupiers.
That's true. Cool.
Despite claiming to be an autonomous zone, CHAZ was a welfare state parasitizing off Seattle taxpayers.
I mean, you know.
Yeah, tomato, tomato.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
I wonder
Whatever.
what the police who account
It's a
for
city-
more the
Oh,
the
yeah.
largest single expenditure
There's a
in
lot
the
of-
Seattle city budget. I wonder if they're parasitizing off
whatever.
taxpayers.
In any case,
Anyway,
Yeah.
it's fine.
It's
Doesn't
it's
bear
a-
thinking about.
it's
It's
a-
fine.
no.
There's no way to stop funding police. It's not
No.
like
Laura,
there was a.
what are we gonna do? Who's
Laura.
gonna protect the dumpsters?
living in Portland,
Mhm.
the idea that there's no public restrooms in parks ever, and that they're open and that people can use them, and that the city funds those like
Yeah.
basic services of having public restrooms places because we're not France and people don't shit on the street.
Yeah.
What? I
I mean,
actually adore France, but I've
yeah.
been there, and there was an entire street in Bordeaux that everyone referred to as the Rue de Mer because it was just human feces along
Oof,
the entire
oof.
road. But
Oh, like Bourbon Street.
yeah. But the idea that, like, oh my God, they're paying for public restrooms in a city, this doesn't occur in normal
They're
circumstances.
just leeching
Yeah, that's-
off the welfare state.
Just because they want to shit somewhere. Which, by the way, I do. I live in a neighborhood that has a very large houseless community and 0 public toilets. And because, I don't know if you know this, but everybody poops, there's a whole book about it.
Yes. I have that book.
Yeah, it's a really good book, and it's true. And I can tell you that it's true because I live in a place with no public bathrooms, and there are definitely streets where there's just human feces. And it would be super neat if we could parasitize off the city just a little bit and get some goddamn bathrooms in my neighborhood. I love that.
Wait. How much do you think it would cost to build public bathrooms where people could poop?
Yeah.
And how much do you think it costs to maintain a police force that brutalizes homeless
How
people?
much does it cost to clean up
Yeah.
human feces off the streets
Yeah.
because we don't want to pay for toilets?
You know,
How much
there's no way to
emotional cost
know.
of my dog eating it every time she finds it. That's the real situation we need to be talking about here. Oh, I'll get you a citation. It happens every day.
Think
You
of
wouldn't
the
believe.
children.
This is fine. This is a fine way to live. I love
Don't tell
capitalism.
her.
It's my favorite.
Don't tell her.
Oh God,
Don't do it.
don't do it. Don't do it. Eris, don't go the route of my dog. This is not, by the way, the poop eater. The poop eater's off screen.
She does eat lots of poop, but it's mostly chicken poop
That's okay as long as it's not. Yeah.
and sheep poop.
Oh, that's all right. That's fine. All right. So, we're going to carry on. A few days after CHAZ's establishment, an arsonist attempted to make good on the threat to burn down the East Precinct. On June 12th, oh, by the way,
Wait, did we just jump back in time 2 days?
Yeah,
It's okay.
Okay.
this is fine.
good storytelling.
Yeah, good
Andy.
story,
Don't
Eddie. On June 12th, 2020, a person was recorded
He's
on
right, it was drunk in the
CCTV.
van.
Yeah, everyone
We're noticing this.
Yeah, we're trashed and we're noticing. It is embarrassing. Everyone should be goddamn embarrassed.
Especially his editor.
Especially his editor, who's been fired, thank God. On June 12, 2020, a person was recorded on CCTV pouring an accelerant on debris on the side of the precinct and setting it on fire. Ding! Others in the areas ran in and quickly put out the flames using extinguishers.
Wait. Are you suggesting that people in the CHAZ were
Yeah.
like, no,
Don't
set
do that.
Creating a structure fire in the middle of a residential neighborhood might be a bad idea, and stopped it from happening
it's okay.
in the absence of police.
Do you remember when it was said that the
It's
only
okay.
time they de-escalated was that one time at like Cartender or whatever?
That
and
sounds
then,
like de-escalation.
that does sound like de-escalation
Weird.
to me.
Okay,
To me.
the right prefers individual freedom.
Freedom
and the
to
left
burn.
wants no freedom at all.
No freedom.
So what actually Andy's talking about is the fact that someone was trying to exercise their freedom by setting
Yeah.
fire in a
They
residential
just
neighborhood,
want to do
and the
freedom.
goddamn left
Those
that
fucking
won't
libs.
let
Fucking
people just
communists.
live their
Not
goddamn
letting
lives.
people burn down precincts.
Stop them. That's what.
This is
Stalinism is
society.
preventing people from burning down police precincts.
That's
and
right.
I want all of you capitalists to know that.
That's correct.
See?
Yeah.
We could have had freedom.
We could have had freedom. And instead we have the chaos of people putting out fires. They could be heard on video telling someone to move the gas can. A 35-year-old Isaiah Willoughby was later arrested and charged by federal authorities. This is fine. Following an investigation by the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives. There's a citation. I'm sure Isaiah Willoughby was arrested. I'm not.
Is there at least a period?
There is finally at the end of that. It was,
Doing
no, it was a long time without one, but we finally got one.
better than Ben Shapiro. Good job, buddy.
Woo, good job. Willoughby had run for Seattle City Council in 2018. The early signs of violence continued. That is a weird that is not
What?
a paragraph.
Wait, what is- I'm sorry, I'm a little bit
Wait,
drunk,
wait,
but
wait,
what
you
is that sentence?
Wait, could you go through those two sentences?
Okay, we're gonna read this slowly.
Again.
Okay. Wow. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. Willoughby had run for Seattle City Council in 2018. Period. The early signs of violence continued. Period. What is happening?
From when?
Because
from
of
when,
Willoughby.
From
Because
when,
Willoughby ran.
Wait,
Because Willoughby
is Willoughby
ran
the guy
and
who
that
tried
was
to set
violence.
fire to it?
It's implied but not stated outright. It's unclear.
Wait, who's Willoughby?
I don't know. He's the guy who was like arrested.
Willoughby
By the way-
sounds like an extra Harry Potter
You
character.
totally
If
not.
anyone has ever written with 45th Absurdists, this is kind of also what we're like as editors, and we're sorry. We both have worked in education at times, and we will redline the shit out of your goddamn papers.
No, this is
Sorry,
bad.
Garrison.
This is bad, and it like.
And Robert.
God. No. I can't. I refuse to believe that either Garrison or Robert have ever written anything this bad.
No.
No
I
one has ever.
refuse.
No one.
Who
in
the?
history of
Sorry,
mankind
go back.
has
Who the
written
fuck is
anything this
Willoughby?
bad.
Yeah, he's just a guy who was arrested and charged for something he doesn't state by the ATF.
But one sentence does not follow the other.
No, it doesn't make any goddamn sense.
So there was a thing, and there was somebody tried to set a fire. Then there was an arrest,
Then there was an arrest.
and somebody named Willoughby ran for city council in 2008.
Yes, and then the early signs of violence continued after that.
No, but that doesn't.
Are we
but none of
profiling
those-
Willoughby right now?
Willoughby's a monster. This is an anti-Willoughby thread now. Like we're gonna cancel Willoughby. All
None
right.
of these.
Willoughby,
None of these are
you shouldn't have
sentences.
run for government. Electoralism is a trap.
That's right. What was that quote? I'm gonna find it. Something about like, yeah, it keeps you tame. That's what it was.
Yep.
Voting keeps you tame. All politicians are the same, including
Huh,
Willoughby.
Willoughby?
That's
Huh?
right. Yeah. What were you thinking, you asshole? Stop it.
Sorry you got arrested, dude. This is
Sorry. Yeah, that sucks.
It sucks. It sucks.
Terrible. All right. So the early signs of violence continued. On June 20th, 2020, live stream video captured the sound of multiple gunshots inside CHAZ.
Okay.
Video showed a frantic response with people sprinting around and yelling.
Oh
about
god,
shooting.
this might be the really shitty thing.
Yeah.
There was a really shitty thing that happened in CHAZ.
Yeah, Horace Lorenzo Anderson Jr., a 19-year-old black male, was treated by street medics in the scene and transported to Harborview Medical Center. He later died.
Yeah, this is the really shitty thing that happened in CHAZ.
Anderson's older brother told live streamers he was prevented by, quote, street medics, unquote, from seeing his dying brother, who they were treating inside their tent at the Mexican restaurant.
Yeah, so this is a thing where like I have no idea what this whole gunfire situation was about, but it's a shitty thing that happened. Yeah,
It's real crap.
it's real shitty. Guess what? If you think you're self-appointed security for anything, for a community, for whatever, don't start fucking shooting at people. That's what fucking cops do.
Don't do
That's
it.
why I don't like cops.
Don't do it. Yeah, it's bad.
It's bad.
Bad things did happen at CHAZ. This is one of them.
That's a true thing.
We're gonna move forward. Quote, they hid my little brother from me for the longest. I thought my little brother was at a hospital, the unnamed brother told cameraman at CHAZ. I didn't see where they had my little brother until about 9 o'clock in the morning. The table was covered in blood. There is a citation.
No.
It's to Josh Who News.
Okay.
But
there
I'm
was a
not
bunch
gonna-
of other like
You
real
could have
news
used
sources.
legitimate articles,
Yeah, this is
but
real
that's
though.
okay.
There's
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
I don't
that
know what
did
Josh
happen.
Who News is, but there was a bunch of real news
This is real.
sources
That talked about this because
because it was a bad
Yeah.
thing that happened. It was fucked up.
Real bad. All right, so SPD released a statement saying the city's medics were unable to respond because of a violent and hostile mob. Officers attempted to locate a shooting victim, but were met with a violent crowd that prevented officers safe access to the victims, they wrote.
All
There's
that really
some stuff
means
written
is there
about
was a
it,
group
so-
of people who didn't
And
want
there was
cops
a bunch
to
of stuff
whatever.
written about it very specifically that was
Yeah.
about how like police wouldn't enter because of making their own restrictions on things.
And
Yeah.
anybody who's been at any protest has seen this shit where the police will say, like, there is a protest in the area, we can't allow
An
ambulances in.
Yeah, and then we'll physically
And,
stop them from
like-
occurring. And I read a lot of the threads at the time that happened. And one of the things very specifically was about ambulances being allowed access.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not-
Press X
it was a
to show
shitty
it.
bad
It's a
thing
shitty
that
bad
happened.
thing that happened. Yeah.
You're right, Andy. That was bad. It's bad when people die. That's what violence is.
It's okay.
Lorenzo.
January 6th never happened.
No, never happened. There was
Never
no
happened.
violence whatsoever, and no one was beaten to death by a fire extinguisher. It never happened.
And that lady with the "Don't Tread on Me" flag definitely didn't die.
I'm sorry. It's never gonna not be funny to me, even though it's not funny. It's
No,
funny to
it's
me.
not funny.
It's not funny. It's just like, is it ironic?
It
Could
is.
be ironic?
It is.
No.
It is.
Could
That-
it be like
that
reading
is
the wedding
actually
day a little
kind
bit?
of
Like that's
ironic.
actually literally
The fact
ironic.
that she,
though.
if
The
you
irony
think
is
that
the flag.
Don't tread. Yes.
The
that-
"Don't
the
Tread
flag
on Me"
is ironic.
that is literally what irony is.
Yeah, no, that would be ironic.
Yeah.
The dying still sucks.
All right, so
Still
we're gonna-
sucks. It's bad when
die.
people die.
Yeah.
Guess
Um,
what, Andy? Bad when people die.
So we're gonna keep reading this. This is all gonna be pretty
Realize
sad for a
that.
second. We're gonna get through it, and then we're coming to a break, and we're gonna break because we're like in an hour and a half, and we're not done
Oh
with
my
chapter
God.
2, but it's fine.
I'm sorry.
We've been having
I'm not
too
sorry.
much. I'm not sorry. Horace Lorenzo Anderson Sr., the deceased victim's father, said the family had been left in the dark with little contact from police and no contact from Seattle politicians. He shared his grief in an interview with Fox News' Sean Hannity. Quote, "My son needed help and I don't feel like they helped my son," he said, referring to CHAZ's volunteer street medics. He later received a phone call from President Trump, who expressed his condolences. Okay.
God.
All right.
Just-
That's
Yeah.
well, but also, it's just one of those
it's just a
gross
weird
things
thing to
where,
put
like,
in.
yeah, a fucking black kid got shot,
Yeah.
and that fucking sucks.
It's
And the
terrible.
fact that it got turned into a fucking political point for the
on the other
president
hand,
is fucked up. It's
Yeah.
shit.
That's shit. It's
by the way,
bad.
out of curiosity,
Yeah.
did Trump call the families of Ahmaud Arbery or George
Um,
Floyd?
I
You
do
know,
wonder whether the
I-
president ever
I
called
wonder.
any other black families
Breonna Taylor
whose children
or-
got killed.
I mean, I don't have a citation, but I think no. I think never. Not
Oh,
once at
okay.
all. I did
Okay.
not
Feel
even
free to
acknowledge it.
research.
Yeah, do your own research. You know,
Has
facts.
President Trump called other families who have lost children
Yeah.
other than the one that would score him political
Yeah.
points? Because, yeah, it was a shitty bad thing that
It's a
happened.
shitty bad thing that
And there's
happened.
a lot of shitty bad things, unfortunately, that happen every.
No, and it's not okay, and like there's no excusing it, but it also doesn't excuse just spending an entire chapter lying about what CHAZ is either. So, the gun violence didn't end that night. The following day, a third black male was shot. An unnamed 17-year-old was transported to the hospital and survived. Per CHAZ's rule of not talking with the pigs, the teen declined to cooperate with the SPD in the shooting investigation, which I think would be his right.
Wait, somebody got shot, and then they got to the hospital, and the cops were like, "Can we do more violence because you got shot?" And the person who got shot was
And
like,
then,
"No."
and then the DA,
Yeah.
and then
And then
the
that's-
DA
that's-
declined to prosecute, just like they did with that person who got shot in Olympia.
Oh yeah, that's I remember
Weird.
that.
Oh,
Remember one
that
guy?
time in
Yeah.
Olympia where the white supremacist shot
I
someone
remember that.
in the center of mass, and the
Yeah.
DA was like, "There's
This is
no way
fine.
we could possibly prosecute this case where someone discharged
Where
a
we-
firearm
and where
within
we-
city limits."
And where we know who the person who did it, who the person who
You
did
know
it
exactly
is.
what it is.
And there's a bunch of specific laws about illegal discharge of a firearm.
But did they do any graffiti?
Ask me the real questions. God.
Anyhow,
Despite the 3 shootings that left 1 man dead, the city continued to tolerate CHAZ's lawlessness. Meanwhile, Mayor Durkan posed a $20 million cut to the SPD budget.
that is true.
That is
That
true.
is true.
And are we breaking?
Yeah, I think that's such a that's a really distressing place to break. Let's continue and at least laugh a little bit.
Okay, let's laugh a
We'll
little
find
bit.
yeah.
Don't laugh. I'll be right back.
All right. because that was really depressing, and we can't end it there. I know this is over time. Y'all are champions for still being here. There was no singular vision or goal in CHAZ. I think there was actually.
Yeah, something that people, covered an entire block of sidewalk with.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
The road.
Yeah, defund the police.
Black lives matter.
Black lives do matter. Yeah, I think that was the message. Yeah,
it's okay.
It's fine. It's fine. The occupation was made up of several far-left ideological factions. Wow, okay. Anarchists, communists, anarcho-syndicalists, Marxist black nationalists, and so on. That's actually more nuanced than I was expecting.
And they are all people who support black liberation.
Yeah, fantastic. Bacon Side, you are correct. We are 6 episodes in. We did actually cover all of chapter 5. So we've actually covered 3 chapters and the introduction, and we're gonna work on this. It's gonna be.
It's okay. We could actually let Laura read, but
it was too much fun not to, though. I regret nothing. One manifesto part posted on blog site Medium demanded the abolition of the criminal justice system.
Medium. You mean like a place where people can publish their work
for
free, like we've totally done?
Like I've done.
Well?
Yeah, like it's that Medium. Cool. Yeah, cool. A communist Stalinist website Medium. The Seattle Police Department and attached court system are beyond reform. The statement said, "We do not request reform. We demand abolition." Okay.
Oh yeah, back to their inconceivable demands that
no one could possibly have known what they meant.
Okay. Cool.
Oh my God! Fine.
Now that we're there,
yeah. Jaden Grayson, a young black woman who developed a large following in CHAZ, told filmmaker Amy Horowitz, quote, "Respond to the demands of the people or prepare to be met with any means necessary. It's not even a warning. I'm letting people know what comes next." There's a citation. Okay. I believe that she said that. Kind of sounds like there was a singular vision or goal in CHAZ a little bit.
Wait, this sounds like they were expressing desires.
It does. It sounds like they're very clearly, actually.
Like a clear goal.
A clear goal. Yeah. She did not elaborate further, but what came next was more deadly violence. In the face.
That's you just switched in what came next. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, maybe he'll explain.
Maybe he will. As the city cowed in the face of extremists in CHAZ, a 4th shooting broke out. In the early hours of June 29, 2020, a white Jeep driven by 2 young teens made the fatal mistake of going inside the autonomous zone.
This is okay.
Oh boy.
This is the other fucked thing that happened. Yep.
What exactly happens remains unclear because witnesses refuse to cooperate with law enforcement. I'm bad at life.
Oh,
sorry. Sorry. Okay, but security video recorded the sound of a dozen shots being rapidly fired. After a few minutes of silence, another 18 rounds were fired. The Jeep ended up crashing into a barricade. What we know is that a 16-year-old black male was taken from the scene to a hospital where he was pronounced dead. A 14-year-old passenger sustained serious injuries but survived. Photos and videos of the aftermath showed grisly details. The vehicle was riddled with bullet holes, allegedly fired by CHAZ's security.
Okay, this is the thing I thought we were talking about before. Maybe there was more than one thing.
Look, shit got real bad at the end. Like, that's just a fact. It did. Like, yeah.
And also, I remember this, and the fact was everything was very confusing, and no one knew what the fuck was happening, and it was really shitty.
Yeah. Yes. And I just want to point out, and like, I don't know, right? I don't know, and it's probably irresponsible to speculate, but like, if I wanted to discredit a movement and say that they were a bunch of violent anarchists, I would go and do a violence, is what I would do.
This one, this specific thing was definitely like, it was real. It was a real fucked up thing.
It was a real bad thing.
And it was definitely, I remember at this specific time, the information coming out went from like someone's driving and trying to hit people to this, and it was a like confusing, fucked up situation.
Yeah, and there's folks in the chat saying things to the effect of like, what, but there might have been.
Yeah, I hear the.
It's very unclear what the fuck was going on,
because there was multiple different stories that came out during different times before and after, and so it went from. I also had heard that it was a car SUV firing into the chop originally, and then I heard that other things happened, and it changed a bunch, and by different witness accounts, different situations happened all in the same instance, and. There is no clear idea of what happened even now.
What it might indicate is that it's a good idea to not try to resolve a tense situation by shooting guns at it.
It does seem like that might be true.
Which is all that cops do.
Yep.
Yeah. which is not to excuse this. It's just to say,
This
like,
might
is
also
some cop
be a
shit.
bad thing.
This
It
could also be
follows
bad.
a lot of similar trajectories to the things that cops do constantly.
Yeah. And
It might be hard to extricate ourselves from those societal patterns.
Yeah, and this is something that I said when we started chapter 2. Like, when you're trying to imagine a new way to be, it's hard, and people are gonna fuck up, and this is an instance of that, and it's not okay, and no one is apologizing for it. It's bad, but
You'll talk about killing the cop in your head.
It might be.
Perhaps we
I
should
wonder
kill
if
the cop.
any of the graffiti about killing cops was about killing the cop in your
weird.
head.
Well, that sounds
which
pretty
is
violent,
the
actually.
thought in your head that it's a good idea to murder people who you think might be breaking rules. Because guess what? Murdering people is bad, Andy.
Yeah, it is bad. It is real bad. You know what? We're gonna stop here because clearly it doesn't get any more cheerful from here, and we are at an hour and 30. So, woo, this was great. Thanks for joining us.
There's no cheerful
There's
shit coming
truly
up.
no. It's all just violence, and then they like. I mean,
We could finish the
could.
chapter out by shutting up.
Yeah, we can
Okay,
shut
you know what it
up
is?
for a
I mean,
minute.
it's just real sad though. Like, okay, we'll try. All right,
I
we'll
mean,
try.
how much farther in the chapter do we have to
We've
get?
got like
before
3
we-
pages. It's
Oh,
horrible.
let's round up.
maybe
the
more than
chapter,
3.
it's
Okay,
fine.
all right, we'll do it real fast.
Shut
It'll be
up.
fine.
We'll shut up a little bit.
A little bit, just a little. Not too much though. There's actually more than 3 pages. We'll do
That's
our best.
We
We're
could
gonna
have
at least
a
try to
break.
get to something funny because this is really sad. All right. One round was fired through clean through the original of the driver's side. This is likely the shot that killed the teen driver. Inside the seats were soaked with blood. When police responded to the crime scene, they found signs evidence was missing, removed, and tampered with. No one was willing to speak. One video recorded moments after the shooting showed a group of CHAZ residents picking up bullet shells and instructing others to do the same. Once you see any shells on the ground, pick those up and pocket them, take them home, said one man. Citation needed. Online, a clearer picture removed through posts by Antifa-sympathetic accounts, including possibly from those inside CHAZ. Not sure what that has to do with anything.
Okay.
Before the identities of the victims were known, online Antifa-sympathetic accounts claimed CHAZ security had neutralized a threat from white supremacists. Quote, 2 guys in a stolen SUV shot up CHOP tonight, tweeted a user. They claimed through and fired maybe Anderson Field and opened fire again and got fucking murked by security on the ground. This is the SUV they were driving. Beautiful shot placement. There is a citation to that one. I believe that was a tweet.
I
I
recall
believe that as
seeing
well.
that tweet at the time. Guess what? It's not good to be like, cool, some people got
Don't
dead,
do that.
'cause
Don't.
people being dead is bad.
Please don't. Yeah, please do not. Like, even if like it was a situation where it had to happen, it's sad. And I'm not sure this is one of those.
And
so like,
murked is fucking video game terminology.
yeah, this is a real
Don't
life
use
thing.
it for living human beings.
Real people with
Yeah.
real thoughts and feelings. Yeah. Oh God. To date, no video evidence shows shots originating from inside the vehicle. Malice BD, that's the user, continued, I know I shouldn't glorify death and violence, but to be honest, if you
That's
try and
true,
shoot,
you should not.
If you try and shoot at innocent people, then you deserve to get fucking dealt with. The funny thing about the word but is it invalidates everything that came before it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not racist, but guess what, motherfucker? The I'm not racist part is gone. Like, don't be this person. Don't be like that. Those responding to the viral tweets thank CHAZ security for protecting the residents there. Congratulations, I'm proud of you anarchists. Makes us Marxist-Leninists looks like old men proud of their sons or grandsons. Keep up the good work, tweeted somebody. What in the fuck does that even mean?
I don't know. I'm sure
like,
someone tweeted that.
I'm
and
sure
also-
someone did. It's
Have
just
you
full of
seen
assholes.
Twitter?
It's
Like-
full of assholes. It's just wall-to-wall
I hate
dicks.
it.
Like, horrible. It's the
And
first
also-
place. Don't ever go on Twitter.
And it's also someone who describes
Oh.
themselves as a Marxist-Leninist.
Oh,
Yeah, I
It's
got
okay.
a lot of...
I just am
But
imagining.
I
I'm just
know.
gonna stop
Oh.
right there with
Yep.
what I said, and
We're just
leave
gonna
it
move
there.
on. Yep,
Yeah.
yep. There's a lot to unpack there. We're gonna burn the whole suitcase. Like, we're just gonna set it on fire and
And
move
if
on.
you're a tanky, yes, at least one person at 45th Absurdist says fuck you.
Yeah, hashtag yes, all tankies.
Two people.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Not a fan of the tankies, not gonna lie.
You're
not
called
gonna comment.
tankies because you cheer tanks murdering people
Don't
with
do that.
military violence.
Don't do that.
And they
It's
wanted
sick.
to not be ruled by the Soviet Union.
Which is fair. You're allowed to not want that. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, going on.
Yeah. It later emerged that the victims of the shooting were 2 unarmed black males. Marty
It did.
Jackson, a street medic, told an NPR affiliate that CHAZ security shot at the vehicle and that one of the victims was instantly killed from a headshot wound, which I think we've already talked about, but all right.
Okay.
There is actually a citation there. Good job. Despite claiming to be a refuge for, oh boy,
Oh God, what is it?
despite claiming to be a refuge for blacks,
Andy!
for
Andy!
whiteness-
Did you think about that sentence at all? Like, did you say it out loud at all? Andy, really?
Andy, no!
Jesus.
No, Andy, no, that's we don't say that, Andy, no. You gotta at least pretend not to be like that. No.
What
Okay.
the fuck?
Oh God, okay, despite
Okay.
claiming that, CHAZ ended up with a 100% black victim shooting rate. Okay.
I don't know what that percentage
I
means.
don't know what that
Sorry.
means. Okay.
Fine.
To date, only one suspect was named in all the shootings. A warrant was issued by the SPD for the arrest of Marcel Levin Long, who is accused of murdering the first shooting victim, Horace Lorenzo Anderson Jr.
Okay.
Okay.
So that was a doozy of a couple of sentences there, buddy.
Ooh, boy. Ooh, all right.
We're getting through it.
We're getting through it. We're doing
Let's
this. Here,
get
hold
through it.
on. I'm so sorry. This is
It's
not.
Laura,
There is like so much
There's-
literal hair of the dog in this whiskey
just
right
nothing
now.
but hair.
I haven't gotten broken for a fucking cigarette yet. So
Oh my God, yeah, we're gonna need that soon. After 4 shootings, 2 homicides, and a growing chorus of anger from residents in the form of a class action lawsuit, Mayor
Okay.
Durkan finally relented.
Again, is there a citation?
No.
Okay.
Thank you. Mayor Durkan finally relented and issued an executive order to forcibly dismantle CHAZ. On the morning of July 1st, 2020, around 100 SPD officials, joined by other law enforcement agencies, moved in quickly on foot and bicycles to evict the remaining occupiers. Do we have a good one?
no, I was just
There's lots of good ones, but let's hear. Rioters attempt to obstruct police by moving junk into the street and knocking over porta potties. It was futile.
Oh, also because there's a comment in the chat. No, Andy does not capitalize.
Oh,
black.
not even a little bit.
Certainly
not once,
not.
not at all. And he does cite his own tweets, which he doesn't even often do. But yes.
which, considering that most of the time he stole the footage from our tweets and other people's, the fact that he cites his own tweets is kind of insulting because
Pretty insulting.
he's just writing fanfic
You,
off of what
you
Yeah,
could at
videos.
least
You can at least
cite
cite the people
us.
who actually took
Come
the
on, buddy.
videos. Come on.
Come on. Don't you believe in private property?
Yeah.
Intellectual property, Andy?
Citation.
No, he does not.
No, only for the good people, not for the filthy communists.
Property is theft, Andy.
Property
Remember
is-
that. Keep stealing, Andy. Property is theft.
Been rose pilled. Within 30 minutes, CHAZ's 3-week siege was finally over. All it took was a police force given the directive to do their jobs effectively. Okay. Yeah, that. Very
Sorry,
that.
I'm drunk.
I believe that the police force was given a directive, and then the residents of Capitol Hill fought them to a standstill and kicked them out of the precinct, and that was how CHAZ got started.
Yeah.
So
Let's just,
It's okay.
it's fine.
This is a good sentence, actually. Ready for this? Actually, it's a little bit cliche, but I'll give you, what? Andy's doing his best here. Though CHAZ has died, its ghost lives on.
A specter is haunting Capitol Hill.
Yes.
The specter of anarchist communism.
Beautiful. In the weeks after the zone was forcibly dismantled, Antifa Black Bloc rioters returned weekly to Capitol Hill to vandalize property, break into businesses, and attack police. Yep. On July 23rd, 2020, a large group of Antifa marched around the neighborhood carrying bats and pipes. There is a citation.
A large
Okay.
group of Antifa.
It is, I believe, hold on, let me make sure about the number.
We all know by the numbers that you have a herd with 10 and a large group if you get past 50.
That's
Are you
true.
sure it's not 15?
His cited Seattle Police Department. Police
never lie. That's
never
a good
lie about the
citation.
things that they do. No,
That's okay.
never
Police
have and
are
never will.
incapable of lying.
Literally
it would
incapable.
ruin their
Paint
shot
light
placement on
Paint light
people.
bulbs. Paint light bulbs.
Yes. It was filmed by, I'm sorry, I just have to give a shout out to Kitty's List, the very on the ground journalist who stole all of our shit. And then,
Oh yeah.
yeah, do you remember how they stole all of our shit?
It's a good thing we don't believe in property because you stole lots
All
of
of
our
our
intellectual
shit.
property.
No, it's
Boy.
okay. They didn't steal. They downloaded
They
and then
communalized.
re-uploaded.
They
They
communalized, yeah.
communalized all of our footage.
They claimed it was their
Pretty
footage.
sure.
Also, thank you, Baconside. In 45th Absurdist, we have no names.
True. Until, anyway, it's fine.
Whatever, it's
Yeah, you've all seen the movie, I hope. It's my favorite movie. I know that makes me bad.
Where the streets have no names.
Yeah, okay, so they bars, bats and pipes. After smashing several businesses, they started fires. Journalists who recorded the carnage were threatened. Ding! Police were ordered.
I'm sorry,
away.
Carnage?
Carnage.
What carnage? I missed Carnage.
Yeah, it was.
I heard a herd. There was a herd
carnage.
of Antifa stampeding down the street.
Yes.
It was another
Carnage
elevator
in
of
buildings.
Ocean Spray.
Oh, the carnage of
The building
buildings.
carnage. Yeah, the buildings who bled to death.
Elevator of Ocean Spray.
Were any buildings destroyed?
He doesn't say, but I have to assume yes.
Were they
Yes.
vandalized?
He
No.
does say
Ghosts
vandalized.
and blood.
The
Ghosts
property
and
was
blood.
yes, ghost and blood. It's the way.
Every brick thrown at a cop is a beating heart ripped from a living building.
No, I'm actually just envisioning The Shining all the time.
Oh my god, just
All
the
the
whole time.
time.
All the
Yeah,
time.
just
Just
bleeding
wall to wall
buildings.
shining.
Just bleeding buildings.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Overlook Hotel. Pour one out. We miss
Pour
you,
it out.
baby. Real experiencer of violence.
Yes.
The Overlook
The
Hotel.
only time the property has ever actually experienced violence. The Overlook Hotel.
And there was a really big croquet mallet in the book.
A roke. It was a roke.
I know,
God,
a big croquet mallet.
He was very specific that it was. Anyway.
Okay, you two, you can have your croquet debates later. We're going to keep reading this horrible book. The carnage.
Carnage.
Yes. Police were ordered away and no arrests were made despite the violence during and after CHAZ. Seattle City Council remained sympathetic to Antifa. Citation. Big citation needed on that motherfucker. They never condemned the violence against police officers and police buildings, and there you have it.
I feel like
feel
for
like
all
they
he
did.
cites the Seattle PD, he might have noticed all the times they condemned
I feel
violence
like maybe
against the
possibly he might have
Seattle
noticed
PD.
that. Yeah, possibly, yes.
or violence that the Seattle PD felt was implied by people saying, hey, we want you to lose your jobs and be defunded.
yeah.
Which was, anyway, I think there was some condemnation.
I feel like there might, there's some importance in fucking signs here. Quote, the energy behind these demonstrations and riots was something I've never experienced. I was shocked, unquote, said Mike Solon, president of the Seattle Police Officers Guild.
I personally
Fine.
would agree with the president of the Seattle Police Officers Guild
Yeah.
in that it felt like a pretty unique moment
Yeah.
that was imbued with a certain degree of energy that I was previously unfamiliar with.
Yeah, no, it was like,
There was a beautiful fucking memorial in CHAZ while I was there that occupied like most of a city block that had a ton of names on a wall and fuck tons of candles and said like, to those who have lost their lives during the George Floyd uprising. And it was one of those moments where me and Robert were walking down the street and saw it and had a moment of like, oh fuck, that might actually be how it's recorded in the history books. Like this is a moment in history that is happening, and it had not been contextualized in that way until we saw that memorial. Like, yeah, the energy behind these protests was a thing that had a degree of extremity and a degree of urgency that I had not previously seen. That's totally true. Thank you, Andy.
Especially in June.
good job. Mike Solon, a stop clock, right once a day.
Right. Thank you, noted comrade, head
Yes.
of the Seattle
Yeah.
Police Officers Guild, Mike Solon,
Yes.
CEO of Antifa.
He's been in law enforcement for 21 years, but says that the riots led to the lowest point in his profession. In his opinion, all those serving in the department, citation is included, but I don't need to see it because good, motherfucker. I'm glad to hear it. The SPD used to pride itself on being one of the most progressive and well-trained police departments in the United States on non-lethal use of force. Since 2000, the department averages fewer than 4 police-involved fatal shootings a year. There is a citation for that.
Okay.
The citation is the Seattle Police Department.
Okay.
The city has
I wonder if police keep good records of the people that they kill.
I wonder. Yeah,
I
yes.
am not the best citation of things that I claim as random facts. Just gonna put out there.
Yeah, no.
Did you know that I won the U.S. Open in 1998?
I didn't, and I would be surprised because you would have been a baby.
It's okay.
You would have been a tiny child.
No, I actually had a tennis ranking already then. But also, here.
Breaking news, everyone in this room is an ancient decayed husk, shambling towards the grave.
But
I am closer to 40 than I am to 30.
What if I wrote an article about it and then used that as my own citation?
What if you were involved in a lawsuit about your placement in the U.S. Open, and then you wrote a book about it while you were party to a lawsuit concerning your placement?
What if?
Let me cite
Wouldn't
my
that
own
make
book.
you a hack and a fraud, Andy?
No, it would mean I had a book to cite in my own defense.
Oh God! Oh God! All right. The city has a population of over 700,000 people, but now the SPD was tarred with the same brush applied to all law enforcement.
It's funny that he uses tarred
Yes.
there because
Yes.
we could go into the history of tarring
He's
and
correct.
feathering.
We could
Rose
do that.
pill.
Rose
Yes.
pill. You're right, Andy.
It's rose
The
pill.
Seattle
Yes.
Police Department
Was
is
tarred.
cops, and
They're
they
tarred.
have
tarred.
one brush that we
Tarred.
tar all police with, and
And
it's
they
bastards.
tarred
It's the bastard
themselves.
brush.
Bastard brush.
We
And
tar them all with the
Yeah.
bastard brush.
Yeah.
And they did it
As
to
Andy Ngo,
themselves.
noted comrade Andy Ngo points out.
Next sentence.
Almost 100 SPD officers have been hurt in these riots. Ding.
Yup.
How define hurt?
Yeah. Not one
cried.
politician. Yeah. If you look on this channel, there's a video of a DHS guy pretending to be hit in the leg with ammunition. It's very funny. You should go
They
look at it.
cried once. Next. Let's
Not
keep
one
going.
politician elected in Seattle has approached me to inquire how these officers are doing. So on.
I believe that because why would anyone approach you, Andy?
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Well,
no,
this was Salon, but to be
Salon.
fair,
Okay.
the point
Oh,
stands though.
So you're saying the
Like-
head of the Seattle Police
Yeah.
Union was saying, nobody in the media has asked me how the officers are doing with their feelings. Yeah, because facts don't care
Because
about your
facts-
feelings.
They do. Bingo. Yep.
Mhm.
Oh my God.
How are your feelings doing, Andy?
Yeah. Are they okay?
Yeah,
Well,
Salon.
they're not good. According to this book, they're bad. They're
How
real
are your
bad.
feelings doing, Seattle Police Department?
I'm sorry about them. Oh my God. We're gonna do one more paragraph because we're actually coming up on a pretty
We're
decent
so
break
close.
point, and we're not done with the chapter, but
No,
we're
dude,
gonna
let's just do the chapter.
no, because there is
Let's do
3
it.
fucking pages left, for real 3 pages
Oh, I'm
now,
so
and
sorry.
it's 2 hours.
I'm so
You
sorry.
did
Yeah,
half
oh
a
God.
page in the last half
Oh
hour.
my God. Yeah.
We're fine.
We're fine. This is fine. We'll try. Okay. Most of the injuries to SPD officers by rioters are lacerations and burn. Bing! But there have also been broken bones, nerve damage, and hearing loss. Just keep it up.
Wait, nerve damage?
Nerve damage.
Like you get from flexicans?
Just like that. Yeah.
Or from HC gas.
Yeah, or for HC.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Do you
Oh,
remember when
weird.
like none of us could eat? Do you remember that? That
I
was
remember
weird.
when I would
Um,
come back and then I would just get phantom pains through any
yeah.
exposed skin for hours.
Oh, I
after
remember
filming
that.
the protest because my hands
Yeah.
were exposed so that I could hold my camera.
I remember holding frozen peas when I went to sleep because it hurt a lot. Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh my God.
nerve damage, it's bad, and if anyone ever causes nerve damage, they should be shunned forever
Yeah.
and should lose all of their money.
All of it.
Seattle Police Department.
Yeah. No, I'm glad we can all agree that nerve damage is bad. That seems good. Quote, oh boy, these IEDs are the weapons of choice.
I'm sorry, what IEDs?
I know! The light bulbs! It's the light bulbs filled with paint.
Then they just threw out the IED that he just dropped into the middle of that paragraph.
Just out of fucking nowhere! It has been pages.
What
since we got this.
IEDs?
What is happening? Oh my God! Ah! There's not enough whiskey for this. Okay.
There is literally not enough whiskey for this.
There's literally not. We've run out. The whiskey reserves are dry. We fucked up. The IEDs are the weapons of choice. Thank you. And yes, thank you. Their impact has played a significant role in the officers' hearing issues. So
Wait. Hearing issues. Like if a
Flashbang?
police department were to deploy thousands of flashbangs
I'm literally gonna die.
and
if
tear
I
gas grenades while trying not to be chased out of, let's say, the East Precinct
Yeah.
in Capitol Hill.
Alanis Morissette is like being summoned by this paragraph. Like she will be appearing in the living room shortly.
She's
I love
actually
it.
standing behind the
She
camera
is, and
right
she's
now,
really sad.
mouthing repeatedly at us. Isn't it
ironic?
ironic? Don't you think?
I really
and
do
we
think.
do. We do, Alanis.
We do think.
We all do.
Oh my
Thank
god.
you, Comrade Alanis
Thank
Morris.
you, Comrade Alanis. Solon explained these physical injuries will last a long time and some will be permanent.
No, wait. From what? From
We don't know. From the
From-
IEDs. The
from
IEDs.
What IEDs?
The IEDs. The
I
IEDs.
think
Yeah, there's no
we
citation.
need a citation.
We do. I have so many questions. This is not fine. But more importantly, that's not me slurring, but more importantly is the mental toll on officers.
Wait, say that whole sentence through one more time.
But more importantly is the mental toll on officers.
That's a sentence.
That's a sentence.
All by itself.
He noted that some officers are showing symptoms of PTSD, unlike literally everyone we know.
Okay.
Literally every single person.
I have never experienced a drop in executive function and irrational rage for no reason
No,
after being
not once.
repeatedly assaulted
I
by
don't-
federal
Not
officers.
once, no.
It's fine.
No, in no way was I basically unfunctional from October to December.
Our hearts go
Yeah.
out to you, the
Yeah,
Seattle
I don't-
Police Department. It must be hard.
Yeah,
I don't
wow.
sit to do my day job and the one that actually pays my mortgage by sitting in front of the computer and then because it's really calm and really quiet, immediately going into a panic attack that I get to spend the next hour coming out of so that then I can sit down, get 15 minutes of work before going immediately into another panic attack every day of my working week.
I'm so
Right.
glad you don't experience
That
that.
sounds horrible if you were to
Because
experience that.
If you
Yeah.
were to experience that, you would be suffering on par with the suffering experienced by maybe some people who got mystery IEDs
Yeah, the
thrown
IEDs.
at them.
A moment of
Yeah,
silence
why
for our
does it-
boys in blue.
The Seattle Police
All of the
Department.
Seattle police officers who, as Andy has just described in the previous chapter, died horribly during the CHAZ?
Yeah.
Or did that not happen?
I don't know. It's
Was
weird.
there
I was
not
like
violence?
that didn't
I
maybe
guess weird, actually.
very weird. Very fucking strange.
Was- Did violence happen or not? I'm so
I'm
confused.
so
I feel
confused.
lost and alone.
Maybe he'll tell us.
Please save me, Daddy Andy.
God, it's worse than violence, Daddy.
No, Daddy Andy is worse than violence.
Yes.
Citation not
Citation
needed.
not needed. Absolutely
No.
correct.
Andy's not a
Um,
daddy. It's fine.
No. 2 days after the Antifa riot on July 23, 2020, Antifa again gathered.
Sorry,
on
which
Capitol Hill.
Antifa riot?
The one on July 23rd, obviously. The one that we didn't at all. But oh wait, no, I'm sorry. This is the one that he mentioned like a page ago, and then like went on an IED.
Oh,
rant
with
for some
the
fucking
building
reason.
carnage.
Yeah, with the building.
The building
carnage.
carnage, where no buildings
Yeah, the
were
building
destroyed,
violence
and also
where
no
the-
humans were
yeah,
eviscerated.
And this is fine.
but
Or
there
moved
was
to death with the
carnage.
extinguisher.
Go
But
on.
yeah. Oh my God. Okay.
And he was terrible.
This time it was in
God made it
solidarity with their militant brethren in Portland. Oh, he gets to talk about Portland again. Who have been
Solidarity
rioting
with the militant brethren in Portland.
riding for weeks by this point. Carrying bats and sledgehammers, they smashed up cars and other property.
Wait,
They-
they did?
They marched around the city
Is
around the city in broad daylight and firebombed several construction trailers, causing
I just-
large fires.
Is
What
there
the
some-
fuck
is there
is he
any-
literally what is he talking
literally
about?
What the fuck is
What in the fuck is happening?
the citation needed sign is humping my face? That's how many citations
We just
used.
need so many. What the fuck is happening? That never.
I mean,
never
there was that
happened.
really badass time where persons unknown burned down the site of a future child prison.
What in the shit?
That was a thing that happened, but I
No, that
don't
was
think
actually
that's
a thing that happened.
Yeah.
But this, I don't know.
I don't
what
have
this is.
If
no
there isn't, there
fucking,
fucking should
I have
be.
no fucking idea what Andy's
What
talking
in the
about.
shit is happening?
Yeah.
I don't even.
Part of the
Okay,
ice
we got
facility
it.
burned because that was a few months later.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
no,
is
this
all
is
I have just random bullshit.
July
I have
23rd,
so many. Okay,
when a riot
we
happened.
got something about the construction trailer that was burned somewhere near the march.
No, that was. But
But was
an
that
ice
on
thing.
July 23rd?
That was
I don't think so. That was
no,
like in
that-
the middle of the fucking Fed war.
Yeah.
No, that was a
Yeah, that was
specific
later.
ice thing, and that happened.
Yeah.
I have
after.
so many. Oh my God, I can't.
It's been a year,
It's-
and a lot of shit has happened.
A lot of shit has
I have
happened,
No
but I don't
idea what
remember what
Andy's
that- yeah.
talking about.
No, okay. He did say that a Starbucks was smashed, looted, and severely damaged. Yeah, that's happened a
I
lot.
mean,
I believe
but, like,
that.
that I
what is
believe. There was
Out
a
of
citation.
curiosity, was it a Friday?
Oh, sorry. Police finally declared a riot, but when officers responded, Antifa threw explosive fireworks at them, as opposed to the non-explosive fireworks, which are much worse.
It's okay. Let's move on.
The East Precinct.
Explosive fireworks.
Yeah.
Explosive
the worst kind of fireworks.
The most violent of all fireworks.
We can do this. It's okay.
We're so close. We're gonna make it. The East Precinct was also targeted again. Antifa militants threw a bomb at the building, causing an explosion and structural damage. What in the fuck? Wait, but maybe this is Seattle. This might be Seattle.
The East Precinct is definitely the Seattle shop. That's the precinct.
Okay. I don't
seem to recall that it was blown up by a bomb.
It's
Andy,
okay. Well,
I think the East Precinct might still be standing to the
Oh my
screen.
god, this is horrible. Okay. By the end of the day, 59 officers were injured. Please hold up the sign. Please, we need a bigger sign. They were not allowed to use tear gas to disperse the violent rioters. Photos released by SPD of the injuries showed gashes, burns, and welts. One officer even had an explosive mortar burn through his shorts. We have a citation.
Through his shorts! Why was he wearing shorts?
Seattle
I
Police
didn't know it was
Department.
warm.
Okay, we got a Seattle. It's a Seattle Police Department citation.
He never wears shorts.
Okay.
For shorts. I mean, I have to assume it's like it
Oh,
feels a little
does he
erotic.
mean
I will
boxer
go.
shorts?
Oh, we got a yeah. Okay, I believe
Okay.
that. I believe that.
Sure they did.
Corey Elliott with the real answers here. It's all we can do. I'm gonna bring a fucking Sharpie next time. This is ridiculous. I can't. Honestly,
can we do knuckle tattoos that say citation needed?
Yeah.
How many
No,
how many
no,
hands
fingers.
do we need to say
all right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't have a citation, but like that's amazing, and I fucking believe it. What the
Yeah.
fuck? Like, I mean, I can't.
Of course, yeah. Every time that I've seen either a Seattle
I
or
see it.
Portland police officer be like, "I was hideously burned by
Yeah,
by
and it's like-
explosives," it is always
It's
100%
always
of the time one of their own things that they threw that someone threw back at them.
Yeah, and
That
that's
then
violent
hit
somehow.
their
Somehow.
stupid plastic like neckerchief or whatever. In the case of Portland,
No,
Yeah.
that was the one where the dudes. It was he was wearing. It was either like a Blue Lives Matter.
yeah, it was a Blue Lives Matter face sticky
or a
in
punish,
Portland.
or a porn.
That
No,
was
it
my
was,
fault,
It was a
Sally,
Blue
same
Lives Matter
in
sticky.
Seattle.
Oh,
it was
and-
either a Blue Lives Matter or a Punisher.
Well, this was his
and it-
shorts. So if it was Punisher underwear, it was Punisher underwear.
It is apparently it's.
I like Punisher.
I'm
underwear
gonna assume
as
that in my
just-
head canon that's correct. That's all it is.
Yes, it was. Where canon also, it was absolutely
an IUD.
IUD.
It was an IUD explosion.
IUD explosion.
I
not
refuse to believe anything different.
IUD. I've had
yeah.
those. It's messy.
Oh god.
Just
yeah.
just follicles everywhere.
Follicles just for days. Oh my god. Okay. I'm gonna keep reading.
Babies everywhere.
No IUD.
All right.
That's the worst.
All
idea.
right. Oh my god. All of you, everyone, shut up.
We're gonna make it through this,
We're gonna
Laura.
make
I
it. I don't
believe
think we're
us.
gonna
I believe in us.
And again, the violence didn't end there. It continued week after week. On August 16th, 2020, Antifa Black Bloc marched at the Seattle Police
As
Officer
opposed to
Guild's
the Profa
building.
Black Bloc.
Yes. Yes, which, I mean, to be fair, they tried to break inside using an explosive. Please hold up the sign. Officers were responding to the riot were pelted with rocks, bottles, and IEDs. 18 were arrested.
IUDs, or did they say
IUDs. It's actually
Okay.
IUDs. But we're going to pretend it's IUDs. 18 were arrested and multiple officers were injured, including one who required hospitalization. There is a citation. It's going to be to, Seattle Police Department.
Cops never lie, Andy.
Cops never
Just
lie.
keep using that sword.
Rule number
Keep
one.
fucking that chicken, Andy.
No, I like chickens.
Yeah, don't fuck a chicken.
That's-
Chickens are
no.
our friends, not also food. But Antifa promised to continue their rampage, which they now refer to as an uprising. Citation needed. On
The
August
rampage, not the uprising.
Yeah, we've called it an
uprising
uprising. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
we-
true. All
we
right,
did
all right,
call
you're right. In fact, I believe there's like a whole podcast, I think,
Yep.
that y'all did. Along
I
with
don't
some
know what
other
you're
people.
talking about.
No.
Citation needed.
Citation needed. On August 24th, 2020, they amassed outside the East Precinct again. Some rioters climbed over the fence protecting the buildings and sealed an exit with suspected quick-drying cement.
Whoa. Are we back to
We're back to
suspected quick?
cement.
I'm just saying, Andy Ngo has a
He's
bad
got a
record when
fucking
it comes
fetish.
to identifying quick.
They
cement.
poured a milkshake over the door.
Did they milkshake the building, Andy? Did they pour
They
a
gave-
coconut
They
milkshake
gave
on
the
a building?
a brain hemorrhage.
Did do a violence to a building with a milkshake? Andy,
That building
Andy,
can't
level
hold
with
Jell-O
us.
anymore.
Level with us, Andy.
Be honest.
How hard did you come when they milkshaked it? building.
Andy, come on the show and answer the real questions. This is a demand. Fuck me. All right. They then set the side of the building on fire. Please continue to hold up the sign. Officers were inside the building during the time. That's a weird way to
During the time? It's not his sentences anymore, it's fine.
The brazen attempt to kill officers inside their own precinct using a barricade brazen. And
Like,
fire.
Wait, they attempted to kill the officers.
That Laura is.
They attempted to kill officers
We're really
using a
close now.
barricade and fire? Is that actually
We're
the
going.
sentence we just
We're
read?
going with it, B.
It garnered the attention of the ATF. That's what's important. We have a citation.
Okay, like Waco, it garnered the attention of the ATF.
Yeah.
Continue.
Okay, wait, no, we got.
Go on.
Oh, fucking come on. Okay, sorry, it's me. It's Rants. He cites Rants.
Oh, good.
Good. Okay, very reputable.
Jason
source.
Rance,
Um,
a notable,
this
not
is fine.
exaggerator
Notable,
of
yeah,
anything.
yeah. I asked
R.I.P.
him-
to the gender binary murdered by Antifa in 2020.
R.I.P. Yes, there are no more cisgendered people. Everyone is trans now. Thank
We
God.
killed them all. We
They're
killed their
done.
genders with violence.
Christ.
I'm the dead corpse of
Write it
gender.
immediately. I demand it. Oh my God.
Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
We need
Hell
this.
yes. I don't know what's happening.
I don't know what's
but I agree
happening.
with
We
all of
absolutely
it.
must have it. All right. I asked Mike Solan, who, by the way, you may remember is the head of the police
Oh,
union
the head of
in
police
Seattle.
union. Noted impartial
Noticed
source.
impartial source, Mike Solan. And sometimes, why the police appeared to be letting rioters return week after week and sometimes day after day to attack the same areas. His response was blunt. Our commanders are now hesitant to engage with some of these groups roaming around the city. If we do use force to stop the impending property destruction, SPD will not have the support.
Impending property destruction, meaning they haven't committed any
They haven't done it
crimes
yet. They haven't done it yet, but they could. They fucking could. The SPD will not have the support from our politicians to publicly back us. That is not a sentence. He's really bad. Have you noticed that all my
Jenny
Could you
Jenny
say that one
Durkin,
more time,
notable not liker
Yeah.
of the cops and not supporter of the cops in doing violence
Yeah.
to people.
apparently,
good.
which is interesting.
Yeah,
to
but
me.
I just want to hear
Let's read that sentence again because it is
just
amazing.
slow, and I just want to
If we
understand.
do use force to stop the impending property destruction,
Pre-crime.
SPD will not have the support from our politicians to publicly back us.
Oh, so we do. It's a pre-crime.
I
We're
know what it
worried about
means.
our response to a pre-crime because we're worried about our prognostication that the government won't like it
No.
if we prevent a pre-crime.
Yeah.
It's
Which,
all
if
we're
we-
planning in the
that sounds like
future.
a
We're just planning in the
legitimate,
future right now. It's
If
fine.
we arrest people
I know.
that
I'm
haven't
sorry,
done
Iris.
anything
I'm
yet,
sorry. I'm sorry about
then
how
the
they don't
We're all
understand
sorry.
politicians will
violence.
get upset.
We're all
Right.
sorry.
All
Okay,
right.
we're really close though. We're
That
really
is,
close
a-
to the
that
end.
is a true sentence, though. If you
Yeah.
arrest people that have not done anything wrong, politicians will get upset. I
Yeah,
agree.
that's true. I agree.
That sentence is completely true.
I cannot just disagree. Again, Mike Solan is right. Again.
Mike Solon, you're correct. Stop
Again.
arresting people who haven't done crimes yet. It
Please.
makes you look like a dummy.
All right, we got a little bit of a slightly fair thing. We're going to look at it while I keep reading. An Antifa riot on September 23rd. Thank you, Tribe Called Jackson.
Okay.
Most appreciated.
Wait, no. Sorry, I just want one quick
Yeah.
note here. Add an Antifa riot on September
Tribe Called
23rd.
Who?
What?
Who?
Wait, who?
Oh,
we just got a super chat
Oh.
for the mutual aid in Texas, which I really appreciate.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Cheers! You're awesome.
Yes.
Okay, sorry, we're September 23rd now.
Yes, yeah, we've just
Okay.
jumped ahead in time to September 23rd, 2020 in Capitol Hill. A masked militant bashed an officer on the head with a metal baseball bat.
Okay.
The officer's helmet was cracked from the impact.
Not their helmet.
I know.
It's violence.
It's
if
violence
their
against
helmet.
helmets. And he barely escaped the assault,
Okay.
which is the same thing as escaping. A 19-year-old related to a former Democratic state lawmaker who was later arrested and charged.
Wait.
What the fuck?
Okay, wait. I think you're going into the three sentences trying to be one sentence
Okay.
by fucking each other madly in the middle of it.
What
in a
is
confusing
happening?
Way.
What
I
is...
want to hear the whole
Okay,
sentence.
No, this makes
again
no
clearly.
sense. Okay, everyone slow. Okay, a 19-year-old related to a former Democratic state lawmaker, comma. Oh, he's related. Okay, he's related to him. Comma.
That's-
the comma's weird. That's why, because the
That's
comma's
not how
weird.
clauses work, Andy.
That's not how clauses
Learn
work.
how to structure a sentence.
I literally did
Did
not
your
understand what
teachers
you
never
said.
make you diagram
did
a
not
sentence,
understand.
Andy?
Yeah. What
You're
the
a
fuck?
professional writer, supposedly.
Supposedly,
What
allegedly,
are you doing?
in Minecraft, and only in Minecraft.
Okay.
Okay,
let's
so
go through
he
this
was
slow.
okay. So the 19-year-old who is related to a former Democratic state lawmaker and was later arrested and charged with multiple felonies, presumably in connection with the helmet attack.
Wait. Okay, so those are just 3 clauses. So wait, what's the first sentence?
The one about baseball bats?
No,
At an
the first-
Antifa, so we had at an Antifa riot on September 23rd, 2020 in Capitol Hill, a masked militant bashed an officer in the head with a metal baseball bat, period.
Okay.
The officer's helmet was cracked from the impact and he barely escaped the assault, meaning he escaped and only his helmet was cracked, period.
Wait, I see where we are. Okay, so a 19-year-old related to a former Democratic state lawmaker. Wait, so a 19-year-old.
Comma.
This is
That's
not
where the comma
wait,
goes,
wait,
Andy.
wait, understand.
Stop it. So a 19-year-old was later arrested and charged with multiple felonies.
Okay.
Okay.
He's accused of
Are there any of those felonies the cracking of the
No.
helmet?
So I'm
Not
not putting it.
stated.
No.
I'm so confused. Okay.
So first off,
We're just never going to understand
First off,
this.
a 19-year-old was later arrested and charged with multiple felonies.
Stop being funny
Okay.
immediately.
A point. B point. That was.
Well
It
done.
has
Well
no-
done.
I'm dying.
Well done.
It has nothing to do with the Democratic state lawmaker. That's just thrown in for flavor text.
So
So wait, shut the fuck up.
Okay.
This is put after the sentence about a militant without actually relating it to that. 4th point, his accused accomplice is a Seattle area real estate agent. Still does not say accomplice in what crime.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Last
There's no
point-
citations at all.
Last point in this paragraph may make a connection. Let's see.
Okay,
between county
please, God.
charging documents say investigators uncovered encrypted communications between the two on a mobile device.
period.
Wait.
There's another
Period.
sentence.
Wait. It does. The chat showed them allegedly
Allegedly
planning
planning.
to firebomb Seattle police.
Citation
Yeah,
needed.
citation.
That is
Yeah,
a hell of a
citation.
citation.
No, there's a citation, but it still
It's
does
actually
not
it's a
connect
criminal case.
them.
Okay.
But it still does not
Does
connect
not
them
connect them.
to the baseball bat that takes up the first period of the sentence. So we have 4 sentences about one thing and 1 sentence about another, and they're in the same paragraph as though they are related.
And there is no compelling thesis to that paragraph.
No, I'm
No,
so
there's
this
no
is the
topic
worst.
sentence.
There is
There
no
have
topic
been-
sentence of that paragraph.
There have been some bad sentences in this book. There have been
This
some
is a
bad
bad
paragraphs
paragraph.
in this book. This is the worst paragraph
It's a
so
bad
far.
paragraph.
And that is saying a lot.
It's a bad paragraph.
All right, we're going to move past it because holy fuck, we
Because
have
it has
literally
no se-
almost
it
nothing
makes
left.
no
We're so
sense.
close.
We're so close.
And
We're
it
so
makes
close,
no
y'all.
sense.
Okay. Through CHAZ though CHAZ or CHOP was relatively short-lived, I'm still haunted by my experience.
How long were you there, Andy? How long were you there?
Too
Did you
fucking
see
long.
ghosts,
I've
Andy?
seen things you
Were
wouldn't
there
believe.
ghosts?
I've seen things you wouldn't believe. I've seen graffiti on the sides of buildings. I've seen fire bombings on the moons of
dead.
whatever.
He's been dead the
Time
whole
Fact
to
ships
die!
on fire off the shoulder of a right. I'm just gonna put out there. I did.
Sixth sense.
There was a puddle on a roof that I climbed up onto via a fire escape to watch people play soccer at night while there was a party
and
happening.
you've thought about it ever
And I have
since.
periodically thought about it.
Haunted.
I would not describe myself as haunted
Haunted.
because of the lack of the ghosts, Andy.
We are having a ghost deficiency, but maybe it is because they're all with him. Okay, the autonomous zone provided some of the clearest glimpse into what an Antifa-run territory becomes full
A
of.
block party that runs an entire neighborhood.
Wrong!
This is the future that
Wrong!
leftists want.
It's chaos, violence, and death. That is clearly stated in this book.
And free pizza.
And free pizza. Too much free
So
pizza.
much pizza that
That you
people
don't
didn't want pizza.
God!
That is the true violence.
All right.
Chuck E.
Quote.
Cheese is genocide.
Oh boy, we got some more rants quotes. The entirety of Chop's existence is the craziest part of the story when you think about it, rants. The radio host and journalist says.
I think we need a citation for him
Oh my
being a
God, I wanna
journalist,
fucking
but go
die.
on.
Thank you, Red Zix Jackson, for the super sticker. Definitely the people of Texas are going to get that shit. Thank you so much.
We're at like, what, 125?
We're doing real good.
Sweet.
Yeah, this is awesome. The entirety of Chop's existence is the craziest part of the story. Oh, sorry, we already read that. More rants quotes, the city of Seattle literally abandoned 6 city blocks, a park, all the businesses and residents inside, and even a police
I would
precinct.
put it to you that all the people who live there were still living there and continuing to have a block party there for like a
Abandoned.
while.
Yeah, abandoned.
Abandoned.
If you were in the occupied zone, you were completely on your own.
Except for all the people who gave you so much free pizza, you didn't want any
my
more
God.
pizza.
No, yeah, we got some fucking drama coming up. Are you buckle up? We're almost to the end of the chapter, and Andy Ngo's gonna make it all about him again.
Oh.
Everyone, fucking hold on.
Were
All
there
right.
milkshakes, Andy?
God, I hope
Were
so.
there milkshakes?
Indeed, I was on my own, and Antifa eventually found out.
Oh, did they find out you went to the CHAZ, Andy?
Oh boy. Okay.
Did
CW.
you post about it?
We're gonna we got a content warning for some transphobia coming up. Everybody,
Oh,
sorry
God.
about it.
Ready? Do I need to get my gun?
Yeah, we're gonna yeah, you do, because if we're gonna get a dead name and a bad word for trans people.
Oh,
So,
I'm
Can
ready.
we blur a dead name?
yeah,
If
we'll
they
do that.
actually are dead naming someone,
Yeah.
can we just kind of
Yeah.
not?
We'll do a That's what we'll do. Okay. I would have stayed longer than the week I was there, but on my last afternoon, I was outed. And by whom? None other than the transsexual Antifa militant, who has previously stalked and threatened me online.
Stalked spelled with an A and an L? Not,
And this is
Stalked, not
the-
like me.
And this
Not
is
like
not
Laura,
yeah, no,
professional
I'm
stalker.
a professional stalker. He's an amateur, and also it's a totally different kind of fucking stalker.
and not like us who are
Fuck.
because we don't follow Andy.
We don't follow Andy.
We don't.
We have him blocked.
Yeah, he has me blocked. I don't have him blocked. Unblock me, Andy. If you're watching this, unblock me, you coward. All right, coward.
I do think
Moo!
Andy is a scared baby.
You're a
Andy
scared
is a
baby.
scared
Unblock
baby.
me.
Moo!
Remember that time I had to booty grind you off of the dance floor in the middle of a public park, Andy?
Oh my God, you
Remember
are a
that
hero.
time,
you are
Andy?
a fucking hero. Oh my God.
Don't be
Beautiful.
a creep show at dance parties, Andy.
Don't do it.
People pour their
Don't
drinks on
fucking
you,
do it.
as you knew.
Or they shove
Yeah,
their
well,
butt in your
fucking-
face and push you off of the dance floor.
That's what happens.
That's
when you be a
violence.
creep at
Literal dance
parties.
violence. Literal dance violence. Okay, let's continue to read Andy Ngo's pity party real quick. Though I was in full black block, she recognized me after analyzing my movements for days.
Because
He
you
was the
act
only
like
person-
a weirdo.
He was the only
You're a
person
weirdo.
walking around at noon in full
Black
black.
full black block. Yeah.
Nobody was
well-
in black block in the CHAZ, Andy. What the fuck were you doing,
I mean, in his
Andy?
defense, everyone would have
People
recognized.
were wearing booty shorts and drinking. That's all that was happening in the CHAZ. People
Right.
walked their dogs. There was lots of good dogs.
While I was recording an altercation, Armstrong pointed me out to a group that has gathered. That's Andy Ngo. He's a fascist, she shouted. My blood ran cold. Though I was in front of the East Precinct, it was abandoned, and I knew no authorities would be able to help here.
What?
I
when was
immediately walked out of CHAZ.
this? You felt
You
like
walked
you were,
out.
You
You
felt like
walked
you were in
out.
an unsafe situation.
You left.
And you left that situation.
fucking-
Also,
It's
you
okay,
felt
keep going.
unsafe
I
in front
can
of
read
an
the next
abandoned
sentence.
police
Let's go with
precinct.
it.
Oh my God, okay. I immediately walked out of CHAZ and rushed to the lift car I had ordered.
Oh, you felt
Literal
unsafe,
fucking
so you
violence.
walked to a lift and left like you were safe and were able to leave from a place where people were hanging out and walking their dogs.
Oh my God.
Braver than the troops. A moment of silence for Andy Ngo, bravest man on earth.
Bravest man on earth. We cowards
gone.
that we are, had to just sit in the park and watch people play kickball and drink and eat Korean food while other people walked their cute dogs. We didn't have the courage to walk a half block away and call a lift, Andy.
Yeah. I mean, really braver. Truly braver. By the way, can either of you whistle? Are either of you capable? Okay, so we're gonna have a dog whistle coming up. And
Oh,
if you would
yeah.
please just whistle when we get there.
Ready?
We're
Are you
gonna
ready,
do it.
dog?
It's gonna be a big paragraph, a small
Ready?
paragraph.
Okay. Time to dog whistle.
To this day, I still find myself underestimating how committed and sophisticated Antifa are to their political agenda of destroying opponents and the states. They're obsessive and compulsive. And they will-
Obsessive and compulsive?
Both.
Wait,
They're both.
Laura, I'm going to have to put it forward. We're not obsessive and compulsive to laugh at Andy destroying himself with his own bad writing.
Yeah.
We are not obsessive or compulsive, and you can tell because in this very room, there's a bunch of unfolded laundry.
And we're drunk.
And we're
Also
drunk.
that, yeah. No, I assure anyone who's seen my apartment.
There are
knows.
messes that we haven't cleaned up in a while.
All right, we got to get to the dog whistle. We're so close.
We're getting there.
They're
We're getting to
obsessive
the
and
dog whistle.
compulsive, and they will use any means available to achieve their goals. That includes doxing, disinformation.
Not doxing, Andy.
I know he would never.
Andy.
He would never.
Not
Doxing, disinformation, or straight up thuggish violence.
Not straight up thuggish violence, only queer up thuggish violence.
That's right.
Andy.
There's
We
nothing
have
straight about
standards,
Antifa.
Andy.
There is no one in Antifa is straight. If you think you're straight, you're wrong, and you will find out soon. Okay, so that was that. The thuggish violence was the dog whistle. The terror they subjected Seattle residents to had long-lasting consequences beyond CHAZ. By August 2020, the SPD police chief announced she was resigning. Oh no.
Wait, what? We missed the dog whistle?
I mean, it was the thuggish violence.
Oh, thuggish violence.
It was thuggish violence.
Thug,
It was,
thugs.
they're thugs.
Thuggish
They're all
violence.
thugs. Yeah.
Unlike the violence that police do,
Or the violence that they did on January 6th at the Capitol, which was
or
not
the
thuggish
violence
at all.
that CHUDs do.
No,
Not-
CHUD violence is not
CHUD
thuggish.
violence
That's
is
different. That's something
unthuggish.
else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's thuggish, but that's only when they're disavowing those particular
Of
people.
course,
Right.
of course, yeah. So the SPD chief announced she was resigning. Carmen Best had served as an officer in the city since 1992 and became Seattle's first Black female police chief.
Oh. Do you suppose that means...
more female drone pilots? Come on, that's what we need. All right, we're 2 paragraphs in the end. I'm done. Can't do it, quote unquote. There's a citation. She really said, I'm done. Can't
Quit
do it.
your job.
Quit your job. The day prior, City Council voted to cut SPD's budget, including eliminated 100 positions. Hooray! Good. All right. As I left Seattle, I mourned for the law-abiding people who had been terrorized into silence. They were completely failed by their elected leaders. And despite the organized violence playing out in the open, the media headlines still denied the existence of Antifa. Quote, how much more violence and chaos by Antifa are politicians willing to accept, unquote. I asked myself while on the train out of the city.
He just quoted himself?
He just quoted himself. Yeah, that's what just happened.
I asked myself.
Asked myself. We got one more sentence, and here it is. Unfortunately, a whole lot more. And next week we get to read a or actually not next week.
Oh
next
wait, are there
Thursday.
Pictures? Can we?
There are pictures.
Let's talk about the pictures
Okay, we gotta
real
talk about
quick.
pictures. We
No,
can maybe.
those are Wall of Moms.
It's fine. No,
yeah,
it's fine.
No, we can show
A
the
protester
camera.
holds a rifle.
Yes, a protester is holding a rifle, which is terrifying. Sorry, this is a bad.
What
way
about
to do
the
it.
Second
This is bad.
Amendment,
I should
Andy?
feel bad.
Don't
You
you
should
like
just-
the Second
Can you post them in
Amendment,
the comments?
Andy?
You know what? What I will do.
Just post a couple
Post a
of
couple in the
screenshot
comments.
and post a couple of pictures. In the
I
comments.
don't think that I can because it's on my iPad and I'm bad at technology.
I'm just
No.
also to
You
real
email them
quick.
to yourself.
So
What I
we
could
have
do,
we
though,
have
That's what you do.
a
I think I know
protester
what to do.
holds a rifle in Louisville, Kentucky, after his chapter about the
we're
CHAZ.
gonna get there.
Then Portland's Apple store was looted on the first night of Black Lives Matter rioting on May 29th, after his chapter about the CHAZ. And then Antifa flags at Portland
with
Timber.
a picture of some broken glass in an unidentified storefront.
Yeah. Then Antifa flags at a Portland Timbers soccer game in 2019
With some flags
after
Alright, we're
his
gonna get
chapter
there.
about the CHAZ. Then pool noodles filled with nails were used
Okay.
to pop police car tires. What?
Photo credit Portland Police Bureau,
Where's
And
the
it
sign?
involves-
Where's the sign?
and it says credit to the Portland Police Bureau and has what appears to be
It
a
looks
circle with 2 lines in it that could potentially be a pool noodle
worst
with nails.
fleshlight ever. And then we have a picture of the Wall of Moms with the caption, "Women were used as human
Oh, that's my favorite
shields in
picture.
riots in August 2020.
Love it. I love
Again,
it when men
after
take away the
cons-
agency of women. It's my favorite.
Women were used as human shields by the women who deliberately
Okay.
went to the
That I
federal
am
court.
almost
We have the
positive
technology,
that
hold
photo is not by Andy Ngo. He credits himself in it, but I'm almost positive it was stolen by someone else.
Yeah. No, he wasn't there.
No, I know, but I'm not sure who.
Because we were there.
I know, but
And
I
he
looked-
wasn't there.
I've looked through our friends' photos and it's not theirs.
Yeah.
but
That's
it
the
is
wall of
someone's.
mom's
It's the
picture.
wall
I'm
of
gonna
mom's
I'm
picture.
gonna scroll up some of the others that
Oh,
we missed.
and
Here's
then
the worst fleshlight ever,
Yep,
right
worst-
there.
worst fleshlight ever.
Do not
And-
stick your dick in that. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Do not stick anything in that.
And then we have a picture of a tweet from the YLF.
Oh, the YLF.
Live streamers are
Noted.
doing the Fed's surveillance and scouting work for them, whether they like it or not. They are serving as a literal counterintelligence operation for Fed forces. Any with a conscience will shut down their streams, and if they don't, they should be forced out.
I don't know what point he's making here, but
A
like I don't
tweet
really.
by the Pacific Northwest Youth Liberation
But that's
Front.
from
That is-
mid-July.
That is a tweet that they made.
Yeah, they
mid-July.
made that tweet. I don't know what point he's
Okay,
making
that's
here.
fine.
And now we're on to chapter 3.
Yeah. Okay. So that is
Okay.
the end of this, and thank you for sticking around. Did Farley really donate to the stream? Oh yeah, he donated $105 for some reason. But thank you, Brandon Farley, if you're still watching.
Brendan Farley, reconsider your life choices, except for the ones
Except
that
for the ones-
repeatedly involve you giving money to
please
Laura.
continue the
That's
super chat.
fine.
I will DM you and thank you. You're gonna get that from me because that's a lot of money for the people in Texas. So good job, Brandon Farley. Thank you to
What are
Tripod
you
Jackson
doing
and
with your
Rensis
life?
Jackson for your contributions as well. Y'all are amazing.
Mutual aid orgs in
Um,
Texas right now need shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do. And
It's
please
under
go forth
30
and help them.
degrees,
People are
icicles
gonna
are
die.
on the
People are gonna die out there. Because capitalism is great.
Because there's no reason anyone would ever wish death to capitalism unless they were a violent Antifa.
Or rose-pilled.
Or rose-pilled.
Rose-pilled.
Rose-pilled. Hashtag rose-pilled.
It's all part of the
All
plan.
right, everyone, thank you so much for joining us for this bizarre thing. I need to thank my patrons, which I'm not prepared to do because I'm a bad person. If you signed up between last time and this time, you're not going to be included. It's not because I don't love you. It's because I'm a lazy piece of shit, but I will have you by Thursday. And it's not because I don't love you. It's because I'm a bad person.
Where's the citation
I would like to,
needed?
there's no citation needed for that, and you know it. So thank you very much to especially Kenneth Clayton Lewis, Skippy, Dana Sullivan, Tina Kopolowski, Stephen Swan, Sandra Elliott, Shave Ice, and Michael Mataluni. Thank you also to Bet Schrock, Ominous Lodgen, Christine and Hedges, Chaz, Polly Jones, Brian Covey, Alexandria Schneider, Polly, Nathan Zilka, Josh Vader, Sam Mattison, Benjamin Tupper, Dome, and Caitlin Jocelyn. Thank you also to Elizabeth Brasa, Ray Ribbs, Luz Briante, Marvelicious, Dave, Zeke, Heather Carpenter, and Julian. As always, if I've mispronounced your name, please let me know. It's not intentional. It is, once again, because I am a bad person. I love all of you so much. Thank you for joining me for this absurdity. Join me again on Thursday at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time.
Absurdity.
Yes. Follow 45th Parallel Absurdists on Twitter. They're amazing. If you haven't already, which, why would you not? Love you. Bye.